Yeah, it's not like going to explode the room. You'll be able to step away pretty nicely. Just one step back. We're good.
Has it ever happened?
What?
Where, like a toilet's exploded on
if somebody puts a stick of dynamite in there.
I mean, again, obviously.
The guy with the most stories is Chris Myhill. That's why I think he had to retire. He had to get out of here. But he was at a house on a lake one time, and they had a party, and the toilets flooded over. And it was bad, and they had to burn the house down.
Come on.
No, I'm not even kidding.
They did not burn the house down.
They did not have to sprint from the house to save themselves.
They did not have to burn the house down.
Well, the house did burn down like a year later.
For insurance, they just collected the money.
I'm still not understanding why this was such a big deal that your newspaper, if we started with that, I still don't understand why.
Why are you still on it?
Because you guys started a story and then you didn't finish.
No, that was it. I was holding the newspaper, and the newspaper slid out of the plastic wrap that it's in. And Ranj goes, "Oh my gosh, that's exactly what happened to my burrito."
Yeah, she was holding the wrong end.
Great story.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you know what? You've contributed.
Well, you ruined it by going
so
back to it. We've moved on 6 minutes ago.
You guys left it like there was more to the story.
No, we did not.
Yeah.
No, I felt like
it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, you guys are wrong.
We could. Aren't we always? Answer man.
Whoa.
Aren't we always?
By the way, we have a texter in the 314 says they are the 5th person that gets the printed newspaper still.
The 5th.
Good
wow.
for you.
So you're the 4th.
I get the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal in print. Everything else, like Washington Post, Post-Dispatch, The Atlantic, I could go on and on. Those are online. But I love waking up in the morning and looking out my window and seeing the blue plastic of the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. And then my whole thing is it's a ritual. You have to make coffee first. So you have a coffee mug, and you have to keep your pajamas on and walk out in the front yard with your pajamas on, the robe, and then you pick up the newspaper and you look around and you wave like, "Hello, neighbor." It's the most neighborly ritual in the history of
I don't think anybody does that though, really. I think it's only a movie trope.
I do it.
Where you walk outside, you get the newspaper. I was watching Independence Day. Has been on like every day this month for some reason.
Because it's the 4th of July coming up.
Yeah. Monday. We'll be here though. So it's Will Smith. He walks outside, he picks up the newspaper, and he starts reading it on the driveway.
Yeah.
Who does that? Nobody does that. And there's an alien spacecraft in front of him.
You don't read it on the driveway.
Might have been a great headline, though. Might have been.
He looked tired.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think anybody actually goes to the driveway, picks up the newspaper, and reads it out there.
I'm old school, man. You know, there's nothing like waking up and grabbing your cell phone and flipping the screen up there.
Yeah, I love that too.
Nothing like that feeling.
I don't appreciate Wheeler's attitude during this entire segment.
Well, what else is new?
I was going to say this segment. What are you talking about?
It isn't just today, Amy.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's Audacy.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey for my trusted friend and realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is the agent I've been recommending for years. If you are planning to sell your home in this crazy seller's market, you do not want to leave a single dollar on the table. You'll love working with Gloria. Gloria Liu will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she will buy it guaranteed in writing. Her secret? Well, Gloria has the buyers. Thousands of ready buyers looking for homes in your price range and in your neighborhood. Lawrence and Shelby sold their St. Louis home in just 3 days at $17,250 over asking price with multiple offers when their previous agent produced 0 results. They chose Gloria over other agents and they were thrilled with the results. You should call Gloria Liu today with any questions. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Find her online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Tune in this weekend for Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chatsky, presented by Edelman Financial Engines. Your hosts and their guests will explore how our financial decisions shape our everyday lives. For airtimes, visit everydaywealth.com.
Energy prices are at all-time high. If your air conditioner is working right now, here's what I tell all my customers. You guys are important to me, truly important to me. Someday you will need a new furnace and air conditioner. You will. And if I lie to you now, you'll never call me. If I tell you the truth now, 10 years from now, you'll call me. You do not need to replace your air conditioner because the energy prices are so high. Do not think for a second that I could sell you a $20,000 or $15,000 air conditioner, and it's in your best interest. It is truly not in your best interest. If your air conditioner breaks or it's broken, or if somebody says you need a new one, talk to them, then call me. Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Call the right number, call the right company. It's Bart Inman, 314, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. That's Bart Inman. That's 314-293-20, Missouri and Illinois. You know how to do that, Andrew, with the Missouri and Illinois thing. Or BartInman.com. That's BartBinman.com.
Hi, guys. It's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
Mark Cox here. Join me as we head to enchanting Germany to see fairy tale castles like Neuschwanstein and picturesque Bavarian villages, medieval Munich, the world-famous Hofbrauhaus, even Mozart's Salzburg in Austria, too. Join me this fall, $49.49. That includes your airfare. Call 888-733-9494 or go online today to conservativetours.com. That's conservativetours.com.
Nationally recognized, locally invested, Busey Bank is pleased to be named one of America's best banks for 2022 by Forbes. A prestigious and humbling honor, Busey is proud to deliver best-in-class service to our valued customers and vibrant communities. Whatever your financial needs, partner with an award-winning team for solutions to your business, wealth, and personal banking needs. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Serving St. Louis for over 96 years. KMOX.
Hutch back in on the show. Chris Rock, Jamie Marks, of course, Kevin Wheeler here. This is the official theme song for Hancock and Kelly.
Yeah. I love this
think
song.
it's
John,
scary.
What is scary about this song?
John is like, really? You're into this.
What is this?
Feel good.
You kids.
It's the Gorillas.
I'll
right?
tell you, the music you kids listen to
This song's
out
like
there.
20 years old.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, that's a
These
kid.
kids these days.
Yeah, well, Amy just said this song scares me.
You don't
During
think it
the
has
break.
a scary vibe to it?
No.
But I don't
No.
know if you guys have gotten this deep with Amy, but we've had Amy on where she talks about the fact that she walks around with guilt all the time, that like she might be violating a law. What was that whole thing? Like,
I'm afraid
convinced.
of accidentally breaking the law.
Wow.
And I've said before, I'm a bad, innocent person because I feel guilty. And my greatest fear is going to prison for a crime I didn't commit.
And you're not
along
even
with-
I have that fire. I have that exact
right,
same
I'm not
fear.
even Catholic, along with mildew and gum disease, but that's not related to
And
this
bowling balls
conversation.
and bowling shoes and literally everything else.
I'm afraid I'm accidentally breaking the law because ignorance of the law is
Is
no
no
excuse.
excuse.
Yeah, I mean, I could still go to prison, and I'm always afraid that I accidentally am breaking the law.
But Amy, we all know you. You're like apple pie. What possible things could you be doing that could be
It's
a
the-
violation of
it's-
the law?
It's the innocent people that always get in trouble. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't know.
Huh.
Like, oh, I didn't know, and I'm not good.
I didn't know I shouldn't kill that guy.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't know who you were with. I didn't know. I'm afraid that like here's one. I'm not good at picking up on conflict of interest because I just assume we're all friends. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, well, you can't do that. That's conflict of interest. I'm like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that.
You know, I used to have to pay $150 an hour to have this conversation.
I still
It's the
do.
beauty of doing a radio show.
I did tell Amy today she needs help.
I
I don't
say
think she.
that every
See,
day.
here's the lesson. The lesson is no matter what, just act like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like if
That's
you're
it.
walking into a place,
Yeah,
you're
you're
not sure
supposed
where
to be
go,
there.
Just I belong. This is my space. I'm
Right.
I'm going where I
That's
want.
how I feel when I wear a lanyard.
Isn't that 90% of life, though, Kevin?
Wears a
Yes.
lanyard all
No,
the time.
it is.
Acting like you
It
know
is.
what you're talking about and
Yes.
what you're doing
Yes.
is it's the key to life.
I mean, occasionally you do need to know what you're doing and where you're going.
Every once in a while.
But on the times when you don't, it's important that people think you do.
When the All-Star game was here for the Blues, they had the concert,
Yeah.
that they did outside, and it was ridiculously cold. I don't know if you guys remember. It was like below zero. And I wanted to go to my office, which was right on the other side of the stage, but they had it all blocked and stuff. And I just told everybody, follow me and act like you know what you're doing. And I just went right up to the VIP entrance, walked in behind stage. And if you act like you know what you're doing in life, people will let you do it.
Yeah, 90% of people will just, that's a
So-
scientific fact. They will just let you go because they don't want to be like, oh, I was wrong.
I think I can say this now because like statute of limitations and all of that.
Mm.
But the Winter Classic was here in 2016.
Yeah.
And the parking was a disaster, right? There was all the good parking spots were reserved for the
Hancock and Kelly.
highfalutin people. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's on NBC and all of that. And I was going to be there all day and it was going to be, late when I left at night and I didn't want to park far away downtown. And so I drove up to the closest like parking right there by the ballpark, that the parking lots, it's the VIP parking. And I rolled down my window and I said, they told me this is where NBC is supposed to park. And she's like, yes, right in there. And they never
Wow.
checked. And that's where I parked for the Winter Classic.
Hey, now.
Because I
Nice.
just,
Because you clearly knew what you were doing to that person.
yes.
Do you
Like-
realize you violated the law?
Yeah.
And you
I
should
know,
be held
but
accountable?
now it's been-
NBC's been looking for you.
No. It worked the second day too.
Yeah.
I was like, NBC, they said NBC should park here. And they're like, yep, come on in.
Wow.
Because I needed parking. I was trying to stay safe.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you don't believe in rules.
Well, laws. I believe in laws.
So what's the difference?
A law is a hefty rule.
That's insightful.
I think someone else needs to talk before I really talk myself out of the job.
I just want to hear more confessions of other laws you've broken.
No wonder you're walking around like you're guilty.
I'm afraid I'm going to get caught.
Wow.
Like, what-
Next thing
do
you know,
anything.
it'll be instead of like, this is where NBC is supposed to be. It's good. Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
She's talking about like being innocent, and she proceeds to tell a story where she clearly was not innocent.
Well, no,
Well,
Like,
no,
she clearly
it wasn't a
did something-
lie.
It wasn't
She-
a lie.
She said she never said she was with NBC.
I think it's a lie of
true.
omission.
and
Yeah.
they did tell me.
No.
No,
It was
no.
a
You
valet
admitted
guy.
the fact that you don't work for NBC.
But where you could have protected yourself is to take the Wheeler Kelly strategy, which is, hey, I'm supposed to be in this lot. And they just said, go on in.
But I'm not supposed to be in that lot.
Well, you just tell them
I-
I'm supposed to
That
be in
would
that lot.
have, but that would have
That's
been
a
a lie.
And I was told because the valet guy goes, well, you can't park there. That's where NBC parks. I said, oh, really? And that's what I said. They told me this is where NBC parks. And
Yeah.
she said, yes, come on in. It was not a lie.
It was not. I concur.
Did
Yeah.
you come with like an NBC Peacock shirt the next day to make sure that your
No.
cover wasn't blown?
No. I figured I'd just risk it. I also feel like lanyards empower you, as does turning on your hazards. If you turn on your hazard lights, you can really drive like a maniac.
Hancock's been walking around now with his lanyard around his neck. Yeah, I noticed you had the pass to get into the building here.
Yeah, they took my old pass away. I
And
thought
so
we were
you wear
fired.
it like a dog chain around your neck.
Well, she gave me the lanyard thing. So what are you gonna do?
I've got like 5 of these little like key cards that let me in different places, and they all look the same, right?
Yeah.
They're the white
Yeah,
code.
yeah.
So I've had to write on them KMOX, house, pool, blah, 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 whatever it is.
Bragger.
And it's a nightmare to keep them
Yeah,
all
you gotta have
straight.
You have to have a key card to get in your house.
But to get in the doors, yeah.
To get
I
into the
live
building.
I live in a condo complex,
Oh, you
you
live
know,
in a
big
nice
building.
place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Well, I live in
man,
the West End where you
Kevin's
do,
got a
Glenn,
house. You
right?
got a
Yeah.
nice place.
Did I tell
Well,
you
you're
guys
in the
that?
West End, aren't you?
Yeah, my place is a dump.
Yeah. Are you no keys necessary?
They're like, come on, you look fine.
The door just popped
Were you
open.
close
You're
to the
right.
fires the other night?
I think I was in it.
Oh wow.
No, I was. No, it was.
Down
That was
at
on
Mission
Euclid in
Taco
Maryland.
and
No,
Salt and
Euclid.
Smoke?
Yeah, Euclid and McPherson. I think.
Right.
We just got a text from the 251 area code. I don't know where that is. Says
251.
I feel like Amy's about to confess to the murder of JFK.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
No,
No,
well,
they
he's-
solved that.
But
one.
he's alive and he's coming back.
Junior,
so, I mean,
is.
that's a
Junior's
junior.
alive,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
run with the
Yeah.
former president.
well, they're both alive.
And I'm old, but I'm not that old. That's just in
Just
spirit.
spiritually old.
Spiritually old. Yeah.
I'm that old.
Well, you're old enough to remember when JFK Jr. died, though,
for the
aren't you, Amy?
Wait, Oh yeah.
Nobody crashed the
Yeah,
plane.
the plane
He's not
crashed.
dead. You know that. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
do
think there are
remember
people
that.
still in Dallas waiting for him to show up.
I think they are.
You know, this guy
Hmm.
should have taken his lanyard off.
You guys ever been to Dallas to see the?
I have.
It's the
Here's
headline.
here's the one political story we've got.
All right.
Yes.
Here we
So
go.
this whole thing with Sam Page's chief of staff, Cal Harris.
Former chief of staff.
Here's a paragraph. The man's identification badge with the name Calvin Harris and Harris's photo is visible for 14 seconds before the man adjusts his lanyard and moving the badge out of the frame.
That doesn't prove it's him.
Right. So
There's my
more-
lanyard. I've been looking for that. There's the photo of my wife. I've been looking for that.
Yes.
I told you guys the off air the time I was on a jury for a sex trafficking case, a federal one here in downtown St. Louis, and they had this guy, like all of his phone calls, all of his laptop activity, and the entire defense the whole time wasn't me. Could have been anybody that had my laptop or one of my four
Oh,
phones.
my.
Could have been anybody driving my car. I mean, how do you know it was me?
Did it
Like,
work?
That was the nope.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy was guilty as hell, man.
That only works if you're the president.
I have never been called to jury duty.
Wait, what?
I
What?
have,
I've never been called to
and then
jury
it
duty.
kept getting pushed back, and then
Yeah.
it's gone, and now I feel like I need to knock on wood because they haven't
Well-
called me back.
Yeah. The federal jury duty scares me because it's like 6 months, right?
Yeah.
I think we were warned of stuff like that. Ours was maybe a week, 4 days,
Yeah.
maybe.
But this guy, you're Mr. Civic Duty, Mr.
Yeah,
Politics.
yeah.
You've never been called for jury
Never
duty?
been called for, unless, I do throw away a lot of mail. But I've never been called to jury duty.
You've never even been called down to the building.
Not to the building.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
Like I've been chosen for 2 juries.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm like trying not to get chosen.
Of course.
But I can't, like the last time I didn't want to do the jury. I didn't want to be on any of this. And I was trying to figure out how I can answer questions, but I can only go so far because somebody in that room might know who I am because they say your name and I got a big mouth. And if I'm saying the craziest stuff possible just to get out of jury duty, that could be a problem.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. Well, see, Ranji, you can sympathize with this. In the city of St. Louis, you are destined to be called once every 2 or 3 years.
I can't believe it. I lived in a city in Chicago for 15 years, never once.
Right.
Yeah.
Right here, I was here for like a 6 months, and I got a
Fresh
jury
blood,
summons.
bring them in.
Right. Unbelievable. Yeah. So I'm sure I'm going to have to do it at some point here.
Yeah. I've been called recently, and I went and showed up, and you're right. People will recognize you or recognize your voice, and that's the quickest way to go away. So you can't say crazy stuff. So
I
you just got to
wanted
make
to,
sure you
too.
can
but
talk.
I've got
it's
thoughts
whatever
on
I can say
Hitler.
to get out of this. That's right. You say anything
Oh, do
crazy.
you? Well, I don't think you could be on this jury, sir.
Yeah, I hate all people, so I'm kind of biased against everyone.
Yeah, say
But
that.
that's
Yeah.
you've said that
Yeah.
before.
I say that on the radio.
Yeah.
I guess that would be the next play.
Yeah.
Like,
So
listen
you're,
to this,
you're
Gabe.
biased against all people.
Just
Yeah.
saying, well, just like everybody's guilty.
Well, it's
Oh.
your line, Hancock. You always tell me that people,
They do.
people are not great
They're
most
not.
of the time.
No.
Yeah.
Does he
What-
say it with asterisks? Is
Well,
that why
we use
you kind
another
of-
word. I don't know if
Yeah.
we can use it on the
We
radio.
can
Probably
use it on
not.
the radio, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
That right there is a life in politics.
There you go.
Messaging, understanding your audience, knowing the consequences of your language. Well done, John.
Happy to be of service.
Hey, you guys have a great 4th of July. Good
And
to
you
see
guys have
All
a
right,
great
see you
show.
guys.
Hancock and Kelly with us on the show on KMOX.
Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel.
Bombshell testimony.
Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel.
Baseless claims.
Engel and the driver are prepared to testify Trump never lunged for the steering wheel.
Perspective from both sides.
I would take their word over any word of this junior staffer who is completely, I believe, lying to the January 6th committee.
Certainly changed my mind. I've been defending the president against the charges of incitement to riot.
When searching for sanity in a polarized world, you'll find what you need on News Radio 1120 KMOX.
Hi, this is Margaret from Eamon Gantner and Capriano with a question. Did you use an internet service for your estate plan or your wills? Internet estate plans are convenient, but you get what you pay for. And where is your value when you have a crisis? Who do you call? Eamon Gantner and Capriano is your St. Louis-based estate firm, working with you closely through consults and phone calls during your planning today and your crisis tomorrow. Eamon Gantner and Capriano offers a free estate planning webinar. Check their website for more information and free registration. YourEstateMatters.com. We certainly can't predict our future joys and sorrows, but we should plan for them. And if not now, when? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, attorneys at law. Learn more at YourEstateMatters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisement.
At 10:30, we have clear skies, 88 degrees downtown of the Arch. I'm Stuart McMillan. Here's what's happening. The fireworks are still a few days away, but travel for the July 4th weekend is off to a booming start. The Transportation Security Administration screened more people on Thursday than it did on the same day in 2019 before the pandemic. Travelers so far seem to be experiencing fewer delays and canceled flights than they did earlier this week. A former Georgetown University tennis coach has been sentenced to 2.5 years in prison for pocketing more than $3 billion in bribes in exchange for helping wealthy parents cheat their kids' way into school. The White House says President Joe Biden will present the nation's highest civilian honor to 17 people, and it includes a list of folks named Simone Biles, of course, gymnast, actor Denzel Washington, and the late Arizona Republican Senator John McCain, whom Biden served with in the U.S. Senate. And just in hockey news, San Jose Sharks, they've just fired their head coach, Bob Oehner, and that news just coming in here at KMOX. For traffic right now, we have the left lane closed. The 64 has debris on it eastbound at McCausland. The left lane is closed there, as I just mentioned. Stalled vehicle 270 southbound past Doherty Ferry. Right shoulder has a problem. And the stalled vehicle just reported 64 westbound just before Boone's Crossing. Prepared to stop in that area as you travel through there. Weather for the rest of today, a high around 95 will reach 100 or so real fields, according to AccuWeather. Sun and clouds, a possible thunderstorm in the afternoon. Tonight, low around 74, possible thunderstorm there as well. Look for rain tomorrow, possible downpour. High of 88 degrees for tomorrow and a low around 70. Right now, 89 degrees in Florissant, 87 degrees in St. Peters, and 88 downtown of the Arch with clear skies. I'm Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Discover your next favorite podcast with the Odyssey app. From Who Done It to How to Do It, we have the biggest podcast for your favorite genre. True crime, history, entertainment, and more. Getting ready for the midterm elections? No matter what aisle you lean towards, we have the podcast for you. From CNN to Fox News to exclusive podcasts from your local station. Find your next binge on the Odyssey app.
KMOX News Time is 10:32.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at the Gelman team, and they are my friends, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. So why settle for one offer on your home when Mark and Neil Gelman can give you multiple instant offers up to $100,000 over the asking price? But let me say this. Getting multiple offers is not necessarily a good thing if you have a lesser realtor, because it's going to confuse them. It's going to confuse the issue. They may take the wrong offer. The Gelmans are used to getting multiple offers even before this recent white-hot real estate market. They are the best in the business. They get more money for their homes. They sell their homes faster. And here's one of my favorite things. Drama-free. I can speak from experience. I've done 3 real estate transactions with the Gelmans personally. They completely take care of you. They're also very willing to buy your home cash on the barrelhead. 314-336-1991, thegelmanteam.com.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
It's the Cards and Phillies tonight. Ameren pregame show 410. First pitch 5:05 on KMOX and streaming on KMOX.com.
Friday, July 1st on KMOX 1034. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Looking forward to the holiday weekend. We got a lot of ground to cover today before we get to the end of this week.
And right now we are joined by Dan Patterson, who is a technology reporter for CBS News. And there has been a lot of conversation about data privacy over the last, several years, but now in particular in the wake of Roe v. Wade. So it's important to bring Dan on with us here on KMOX. Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Hi, it's great to be with you. I'm well. How are you?
We are doing great here leading into the holiday weekend. And like I said, this is a pretty big topic of conversation after the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe versus Wade. And in particular, there are people a lot of women who use period trackers. They are, you have the app on your phone and you put that into the app and it helps you keep track of your cycle and where you are. And now there's a lot of concern about whether or not that sort of data is going to be shared with authorities. So where do we stand on that right now?
Well, I think you summed it up pretty well. Look, it's not just women, but women in particular need to pay attention to this. Any type of health information, no matter who you are, that you put into an app, search results or your search history on sites like Google and Bing, and other methods of communication. I'm kind of being overly broad there, but the reason is that none of these applications are protected by traditional HIPAA privacy protections. And so this means that you could be subject to search, seizure, and subpoena.
Now, if you have a period tracker app or any type of app like Stardust or Clue, if you delete that app and your data now, does that keep you safe, or is that information still vulnerable somehow?
Yeah, not necessarily. Or not necessarily are you safe. Many of these apps will store data in the cloud. So you need to be very careful. With Android, it's a little more difficult because there are, as you know, different versions of Android and different versions of Android phones. With iPhone, it's a little more standardized. So you can go into both the Apple Health app and check to make sure that the app did not cross-save data onto your iPhone. And then you can also go into the actual phone settings to make sure that the data is not saved on the phone itself, but also go into iCloud and make sure that it's wiped from iCloud. One particularly interesting point about the iPhone, if you'll recall a few years ago, there was a case with the San Bernardino mass shooter, and the FBI wanted to get into that person's phone. Apple successfully fought to have that phone's encryption maintained, but a loophole to that is iCloud. So if it's stored on the phone, it might legally be protected, or at least encryption could protect your privacy. But if it's stored in iCloud, it's an entirely different ballgame. So make sure that your data is wiped from iCloud as well as the device. Again, Android phones, it is possible to do this, but it really depends on your phone's make, model, and your Google Cloud account.
I know the beginning, the specific question, Dan, was about apps, and in particular the period tracking app. But you mentioned searches in there too. So are we talking about things like, say, you feel sick and you're searching symptoms, and those are things that people can pull data from? And if that's what we're talking about, what are these things going to be used for? Like, why would people want that data?
Well, that's subject to subpoena. So law enforcement could ask for that for a number of reasons. Yes, abortion, but there's a lot of broad reasons that law enforcement could subpoena Google, Bing, and other search engines. They have indicated, when I say they, I should say Google and Facebook have indicated that they won't turn over a fire hose of data. This means like everything. They say they won't respond to overly broad requests. But this means a very large data set. It also means that you and your cohort or a group of people like you could potentially be subject to subpoena. And these companies would have to, by law, turn over your private data. This does include your search history and a whole lot more.
Dan Patterson from CBS News joins us on KMOX, technology reporter there. And I had read a long time ago about the dangers of TikTok in terms of privacy and security and it being a Chinese app that maybe they were accessing that data and using it in various ways. How concerned should people be when using an app like that in particular?
Well, I want to make sure that we're not singling out China simply because they are Chinese, but rather because of the way the Chinese government approaches Chinese private companies. And that is to say, there is a much closer relationship between the government and private companies like technology firms, ByteDance, TikTok's parent in particular. So having stated that, I think you should be very, very, very cautious about installing TikTok on your phone. This isn't just TikTok, however. I think that apps like Facebook here in the States, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, all slurp up data in large amounts. However, there is still regulation about how data is shared with the United States government. The Chinese government, like I said, doesn't have that same relationship with private companies. And for that reason, I would use, look, you need to choose what works best for you. And you might find that the joy that comes from an app like TikTok is worth sacrificing your privacy. But you should know that when you install apps like this, you are giving them access to data far more than what it appears.
Yeah.
You're not just turning over your profile information, you're allowing that app to see all sorts of other applications on your phone, the data inside those applications, and your behavior, your usage of that application. So it is tremendous. As a personal choice, I never install TikTok on my phone, ever.
Wow. It's almost overwhelming, the data, like as you're like going through what information is available that's out there. Someone put it that it would make the KGB blush at the amount of information that's about us that's out there at any given time. And hugely popular apps would be like Garmin, Fitbit, and Strava, those health tracking apps where I'm going through a list just off the top of my head, your heart rate, your weight, what type of activity you're doing, where you're doing that activity, who you're doing that activity with, calories that you're burning. Pretty much all of that very personal information is floating around in those apps as well.
That's true. I think that Google owns Fitbit, so there are some internal policies that Google uses. But look, that information is private and personal. And here in the States, again, with the new abortion policies, this could be potentially pretty challenging. However, what we're talking about with TikTok is kind of different. And the data that they have access to, again, is very different. Think about it more laterally, or I'm sorry, horizontally. If you think about that health data, that's kind of lateral. It is within a silo, and particular information about your health is of varying degrees of use. It might not be useful to another company or country. However, what you do with your phone, the apps you use, who you communicate with, how often you communicate, the keywords that you use, all of this is particularly interesting, especially at very large scale. It might not be interesting if you talk to, say, your sibling and you say, hey, let's meet for dinner. But when you have billions of users, you can pick out data and you can find particularly useful patterns of data. This can be pretty scary, especially if you're traveling to places where your data could expose other people.
So I know we've mentioned some specific apps or search engines and things along those lines, but I feel like the message that I'm getting, Dan, is I should just delete my phone. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but like, how do we even try to keep control of this? Because again, we can list certain ones that seem problematic, but it sounds like a lot of them can be, even if there's nothing nefarious necessarily going on at their root.
Yeah, that's such a challenging scenario that we kind of pose here. On the one hand, I'm presenting this kind of binary. No, I never installed TikTok on my phone, and that's true. I'm a reporter. And there are reasons I don't install certain apps on my phone. But again, you might find that the joy an app brings you is worth the privacy trade-offs. Unfortunately, we're all put in this really challenging binary. Do we go hardcore privacy and then not use apps that might be fun or useful? Or do we just give in and say, oh, you know what, it's all too overwhelming, I'm just going to install this stuff? That's a really challenging situation that we are, as consumers, presented with every single day. I don't have an answer for you for a few reasons. One, there aren't broad answers, and two, there aren't specific personal answers. You need to make decisions that are right for you and your family, but you need access to correct information. And I think it's important that people understand the potential consequences of installing apps like these on your phone. Look, a lot has been made about the how good the TikTok algorithm is at surfacing information that's really, really good and personalized to you. Well, there's a reason for that. That's because they have data that's deeply personal about you that you didn't necessarily elect to share. I think that data could be used to present fun and cute videos, but it can also be used to weaponize disinformation and all sorts of other really challenging issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, but I'm kind of in the same boat where, I know what my choice is because I'm a reporter, but I also like fun and cute videos.
Yeah. I mean, that algorithm really knows that I like the tortilla challenge.
Yes.
It's like seeing people slap at the tortillas is worth the risk in my book.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it is. I'm sorry. Hey, Dan, that's really great information. I really appreciate your work on this, and thanks for joining us. We'll look forward to trying to find an excuse to have you on again sometime.
Great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Dan Patterson from CBS News, technology reporter at Dan Patterson. How lucky is that? Like no numbers, no underscores, nothing, just at Dan Patterson.
Well, because Patterson's a fairly common name.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and Dan is too. He must have been like early, like right at the beginning.
I was the first Chris Ranjian.
Were you?
I'm the first Amy Marks.
I was not the first Kevin Wheeler, which is why I have a 94 on there.
Really?
Yeah.
And 94 was the year that you
Graduated
college.
Yeah, I knew it.
You're giving out data that people are going to use against me now. No, that's
Yeah.
not true. I put it out there publicly on Twitter. So whatever. All I know is this. All the funny videos are worth the risk to me.
I've already doxed you.
Yeah, that's great. It doesn't matter. We just talked to
We're
Dan. Everything's out there anyway. What am I
Yeah.
even worried about?
Over here doxing Kevin.
I just like I don't want my data out there mainly because I don't want people to know how boring I am. Like, oh wow, she went to
Amy.
Deerbergs again.
Amy.
Deerbergs,
Amy,
back.
trust me, they know.
Coming up next hour, we're going to have John Jay in studio. He's got a great charity event coming up in town next weekend. We'll talk a little ball and about what the event's all about. Up next, we're going to tell you what's trending here on the show on KMOX.
Park Provence, an assisted living and skilled nursing memory care community, understands the challenges when caring for a loved one with dementia or other forms of memory loss. You're not alone. Park Provence is a trusted expert in memory care and recently recognized as a best memory care community by U.S. News and World Reports. Call 314-452-5200 or to learn more, parkprovence.com. That's PARC Provence.com.
At Busey Bank, we understand you have a vision for your future, and we're committed to helping you achieve your dreams. Since 1868, we've invested in recruiting and retaining the best and brightest associates. Busey's unique culture is one that values and supports you, provides opportunities for growth, and is much more than a job. It's a career. Build relationships, build community, and build your career at Busey Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Employer.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and MSD's Project Clear to find your one thing. Don't buy plastic toys for your pet. Instead, look for natural materials like cotton, rope, wood, or bamboo. Pet waste left in our yards can quickly drain into water during rains and contaminate our area streams. MSD Project Clear reminds you to put pet waste in a sealed bag and place in the trash. Join Odyssey and MSD Project Clear. Together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Response to Diamonds Direct's amazing finance offer has been off the charts, so we're extending it through this Saturday. You can go into the holiday weekend with some new bling and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, colored gemstones. Pick any item, pay nothing down, and enjoy 5 years 0 interest financing. It's the best and smartest way to buy, but you can't wait any longer. This special offer ends this Saturday and will not be extended again. Only at Diamonds Direct. Details and more at diamondsdirect.com. Unapproved credit.
Carol Daniel for the Beam Central Vacuum System, giving you convenience, power, and clean air in your home. I know all this time we have spent at home the last couple of years left us looking at our homes a bit differently. Maybe you got work done, bought new furniture, but did you clear the air? You can with the Beam built-in vacuum system. So easy to use. The power unit is built in, so no more lugging of the heavy unit from room to room. You just plug the hose into the wall and go. The Beam is more powerful than an ordinary vacuum, and more power means it sucks more dirt out of your house or condo. And if you have dust-related allergies, you do need a Beam. Research shows use of a central vacuum system improves indoor air quality by over 50%. We're spending more time at home. Maybe you're even working remotely. Clear the air with the easy-to-install and easy-to-use Beam Central Vacuum System. Beam Central Vacuum System owners in the St. Louis region call it Beam Clean because no other vacuum can do what a Beam does. And you can learn more and get your Beam installed at beamstl.com. That's beamstl.com.
The best way to listen to music is at a concert in the front row. And the best way to eat a Nature Valley Crunchy Bar is outside. Somehow it makes the crunch even crunchier and the whole grains even whole grainier. See for yourself with Nature Valley.
Did you know that one of the health benefits of swimming lessons is burning more calories than jogging while providing ease on your joints? SwimOnFoundation.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Kevin, Amy, and Chris now.
Best friends together.
Dave Glover at 2 on KMOX.
What is it? What's happened?
What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened?
I need to know.
Trending now on the show.
All right, we'll take a look at what's trending in the world. Ranj, Amy Wheeler with you here on a Friday. John Jay is going to be joining us after the top of the hour news. Talk a little bit about the charity event, a little baseball, and whatever else. So what else he wants to get into. What do you got first? I know you've been dying to do trending for today, Ron.
So I'm not dying for it, Kevin, but
You're
I think
not?
that you should see this, or rather hear it since we're on the radio. Jeopardy is
Oh.
trending over the last probably 20 hours. You guys watch Jeopardy?
Love Jeopardy.
Haven't watched in a long
Yeah, I
time.
haven't watched it since Alex Trebek was the host, so it's been a while.
I haven't watched it, and by long time I mean probably like since I didn't have any other options at all in the world.
So it's the lady,
like the dawn of the internet. I haven't watched since then.
okay. The lady from Blossom is the host now.
Mayim Bialik.
That's it. She was Blossom
Mhm.
on that show. Anyway, in the show yesterday,
Mhm.
there is a category for Chuck D. Chuck D, who was in Public Enemy.
He's on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Love Chuck D.
Anyway, so Haley Ryherd was one of the contestants, and I believe she actually ended up winning. But the category was Chuck D times 3. And this was a question for 600. This is what transpired yesterday on Jeopardy.
In the 1980s, Chuck D began fighting the power in this hip-hop group with Flavor Flav, a man who always knew what time it was. Hallie.
What is the Funky Bunch?
No. Pete.
What is Public Enemy?
That's it.
That's gonna be my new reply to everything. What is the Funky Bunch?
I love her answer to what is the Funky Bunch? And then mine's like, no.
But she buzzed in to say that.
She sounded really confident.
Yes, she
What
did.
For the record, the Funky Bunch is Marky Mark.
That's right.
Mark Wahlberg.
I want to hear that again.
I don't know if I want to.
Oh, I
No,
think
I
it's,
do. I do.
It's
In the 1980s, Chuck D began fighting the power in this hip hop group with Flavor Flav, a man who always knew what time it was. Hallie. What is the Funky Bunch? No.
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 What is Public Enemy?
Funky Bunch.
That's it.
The Funky.
The Funky Bunch. No.
Oh, man.
That's fantastic. I love that so much.
I mean, like, you have to be at least somewhat intelligent to be on Jeopardy, right?
yeah. In fact, I think she won. I think she won that episode.
Wow. Well,
That I cannot believe that a grown human like doesn't know at all, has no concept of Public Enemy.
well, maybe she was young and she had to read about it in a book.
She wasn't.
How
old she was.
I might give you a break if you're super young.
Hey, do you know what? Oh.
If you know who Funky Bunch is, don't you know who?
Oh, that's a good point.
No, because I think she read it. Do you know what I mean? I don't think she's listened to the music. She doesn't know who they are. There's no emotional attachment. It's like she read a book.
Who wrote anything about the Funky Bunch?
Well, like
it was
a
like
fact
completely
book.
irrelevant. They had like one moment, like one song.
Now they've got two.
Yeah.
She is on Twitter, and after the incident, she tweeted, I've talked to my therapist about it, and I think I'm ready to forever be the person who mixed up Public Enemy and Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Like, I mean, it's not even close. Like, I don't even know how you. It's pretty incredible, though.
Hey, do you want one more trending thing?
Yes,
Guess
sure.
what today is?
What's today?
Bobby Bonilla Day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In
Yeah.
sports, it's a big day.
He gets $1.2 million from 2011 to 2035.
You guys,
from the New York
trending
Mets.
is brought to you by Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. And that is right. That's a big day celebrated in sports.
The Mets got a deal, though, on that.
What a deal. They get to pay him forever.
This Independence Day, the Boston Pops Fireworks Spectacular is back in Boston. Presented by Bloomberg and Eaton Vance. Join conductor Keith Lockhart with special appearances by Shaka Khan, Javier Colon, and Heather Headley. Watch and listen Monday, July 4th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Bloomberg Television, Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg.com, Bloomberg Quick Take, and the Bloomberg Business app.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. With prices on everything going up fast, now is the time to buy. Edwards Carpet's having our 4th of July sale now through July 10th, and you'll pay no tax. Get 50-ounce carpets guaranteed for 15 and 20 years, completely installed with pad for only $449 to $499 a square foot, and we move the furniture and pull up your old carpet free. 12 months interest-free financing, and you'll pay no tax. Edwards Carpet, Ellisville, De Pere, and St. Charles.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
Power of timeliness.
We show up when we say we will, on time and fully caffeinated.
The power of transformation.
Also known as making your house look so good, your neighbors will be jealous.
The power of certainty.
That's your local CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
KMOX, KEZK, HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX.
An Odyssey station. Attention men.
Lately, you've been hearing a lot about wave therapy as a new and revolutionary cure for erectile dysfunction. But did you know the St. Louis Men's Clinic has provided wave therapy since 2017? Wave therapy is a non-invasive, pain-free treatment for ED, but it's not new, nor does it cure ED. In fact, if you've had prostate cancer, wave therapy is not a solution. So before spending too much for a treatment that may not work, call the experienced and knowledgeable staff at the St. Louis Men's Clinic. Their doctors will discuss the available treatment options and develop a customized plan just for you. Get the facts on wave therapy and the treatments for erectile dysfunction. Call the St. Louis Men's Clinic today and schedule a $25 wave therapy session and private consultation. Yeah, that's $25. Call the St. Louis Men's Clinic at 314-282-8700 or visit stlmensclinic.com. Locally owned and operated and a proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, it's sunny and 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. If you're hitting the road this weekend, you'll have lots of company.
AAA says some 42 million Americans will hit the road for the 4th of July holiday weekend. Despite high gas prices, they have affected Brian Murphy's beach trip, though.
Having to adjust the vacation for it. Now, after this, I already said we're probably not going anywhere else the rest of the year.
This man won't be among the masses on the nation's roads.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to sit tight. I don't have any traveling plans.
AAA says travel this 4th of July will be near pre-pandemic levels. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
Ted Drew's has two locations. The Chippewa one is open, but the one in Dutchtown on Grand has not opened yet. That location normally opens in mid-May to Labor Day and is run by college kids who worked on Chippewa in high school the year before. That's been going on since the 70s.
But since COVID began, we had to close in 2020, and in 2021, we were only able to open the store for 5 weeks.
Which leaves no one to run the Grand location this year, according to owner Travis Dillon. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson tells CBS Mornings that former President Trump's actions leading up to and including the day of the Capitol insurrection were irresponsible and then some.
That was a threat to our democracy. That was a threat to our institutions of government. And that's not the behavior we want to see in a responsible president.
Hutchinson says Trump's behavior disqualifies him from running for president in 2024, something the governor says he's considering. It didn't take long for lawsuits to be filed over Monday's deadly Amtrak train derailment in Chariton County, north of Columbia. Amtrak and BNSF filed suit against the dump truck owner Thursday, a day after the widow of the truck driver filed against Amtrak in Chariton County. Your income tax rebate disappears on a technicality.
Governor Mike Parson vetoed a bill Thursday to give Missouri income taxpayers up to $500. He had opposed the plan, saying it did not include low or fixed income people who pay no income tax. But the official veto message said the bill transferred the $500 million in federal COVID money from general revenue to a special account. However, the bill did not authorize any money to be paid out from that account. No word yet if a fix could be included in a special session. Sean Michael Lyle, KMOX News.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, the ongoing computer chip shortage has forced GM to build a lot of vehicles and then park them.
As car buyers have trouble finding what they want on dealer lots, GM revealing it has 95,000 vehicles that have been built but are sitting waiting for computer chips.
Not surprising. Supply chain disruptions just continue to plague the global auto industry.
Auto Trader analyst Michelle Krebs says GM is doing better than most car makers, but its second quarter sales were still down 15%. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Detroit.
The Dow from Stifel is down 172 points to 30,602. And we've got a crash on 44 West before Antire. The two left lanes are closed. Also an accident 70 West past Jennings Station Road that's got the two left lanes closed. And some debris on 6440 going east at McCausland. The left lane is blocked.
Plenty of sunshine with us on this Friday afternoon. I have to call it hot, 95 degrees. It's slightly more humid than yesterday. But boy, by our standards, it's not too bad. We'll keep an eye out for a pop afternoon thunderstorm, but they're going to be hard to find. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Evening temperatures drop out of the 90s into the upper 80s. Keep an eye out for a couple of thunderstorms, 72 for the low. On Saturday, still offering to bring the best chance for some wet weather. Not all day, though. A mix of clouds and sunshine with scattered showers and thunderstorms, some with heavy downpours of rain anytime Saturday, but especially during the afternoon into the early evening, 88. On Sunday, partly sunny skies, couple of thunderstorms here and there, 88 degrees. We watch the sky. Then on Monday for the holiday, it's hot and humid. And again, a couple of thunderstorms around 92. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
And at the moment, it's a sunny sky and 90 in Florissant, 89 in St. Peter's, and 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
I'll get back in on the show. It is 11:04. Chris Ron, Jamie, Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. And it is ridiculous that this is the song playing coming in, because it's not the correct song. But this song was used by Vanilla Ice to make Ice Ice Baby back in the day.
That's true.
That was a massive, massive hit my first semester at the University of Miami as a freshman. Like, it was all you heard.
Ice Ice Baby?
Was Ice Ice Baby. And it's just odd that we've got John Jay in studio. Yeah. And, of course, John is a fellow Hurricane. In fact, we've talked for years, John, about a bunch of stuff. Your schedule coming up as a Cardinal, all that. You're one of the few people that I've seen their careers since they were freshmen in college, because I was a fan, obviously, of the U and follow the program since I was let's just say a bullpen catcher down there years and years ago. And I think it's very odd that the timing came up on that. But it's good to see you, dude. How you doing?
No, it's great seeing you. No, it's awesome. It's good to be in St. Louis. Good to be here with you guys. Brings back some good memories talking to you.
Yeah? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, some really good memories.
How is Kevin, John, how is Kevin as an interviewer? Does he make it comfortable?
He's great. He does. And, I'm not going to lie. I used to give him, all the time because he went to UM. So
I got favorable treatment.
I was like, hey, Jay, we need an interview. I'm like, dude, but I have 1,000 things going on. I was like, hey, but Kevin went to UM. I'm like, all right, I got
it. We both bleed green and orange, man.
That's good news.
Came out the same way. When you were a kid, did you used to hang out at Mark Light Stadium and all all that?
Absolutely.
Because you probably asked for my autograph at some point.
I probably did, and I probably saw you playing. I saw you for sure.
No, you saw me in the bullpen.
I saw you.
You saw me warming people up.
In the bullpen. No, but yeah, I went as a kid. I used to go to Ron Frazier baseball camp on the old turf field, and I remember going to get milkshakes. And then in high school, I remember like our routine was like literally go to the stadium, hang out, watch a couple innings, get a milkshake, and then I had Sunset Place right on the street. That was the cool high school hangout back then, with my 10:30, 11 o'clock curfew. Like that I think I had a curfew.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe sometimes.
Sometimes.
So I mean, John, you've played all over. I mean, it's got to feel like you've just been all over the world playing baseball, and you have time to reflect on it now. Does it? So now that you've had that time, what stands out to you the most during your career? Are there certain things you feel like you look back on and they're the most memorable for you, or is there, is it just like, I don't know, like there's got to be specifics, right?
Yeah. First of all, I mean, looking back now, baseball saved my life. It was one of those things since I was a kid. I loved baseball so much, and it just kept me on a good path. It always kept me out of trouble. It just kept me motivated, and it really gave me, motivation every day. Baseball allowed me to go to college. If it wasn't for baseball, it would have been a lot tougher for me to go to college. So, I always look back at baseball, like all these little things that it enabled me to have, which ultimately is all these experiences like we talk about. I got to play on Team USA in college. I got to play at the University of Miami, and then, getting drafted to the Cardinals. So like, I look back at all these different experiences, all these different people I got to meet, and it's honestly something I look back, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I got to live this life. And then, obviously coming here in St. Louis, the best baseball town there is, and winning a World Series here, it's crazy. My second year, it's like, how many times has that happened? So looking back, I've gotten to reflect a lot on my journey, which is pretty cool. Because when I played, I'll be the first one to say, like, I didn't want to talk about anything. It's like, hey, you had a good year. You hit good this year. It's like, I need to do this for like 8 more years. Like, we can talk about this like now. Like, fast forward, I was like, let's see. For me to play 10 years in big leagues, that'll be like 2020, 2021. Like, talk to me then about all this stuff. Yeah. So, and we're here. So it's crazy.
So you play, you play here. You play KC, both sides of town in Chicago. You're, San Diego. You're all over the place, right? How is this crowd different? Because everybody says, best fans in baseball is a great baseball town. But because you got to experience all of it, what about this market and this fan base is different?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, it's just like life, right? In life, we're looking for, qualities in your friends or your families, like, loyalty, respect. And that's something that comes up, to me with Cardinals fans, the loyalty, the respect they have for the game of baseball and for the players that put the uniform on. And that's something you don't find everywhere, which is amazing. This place there's Busch Stadium, there's 40,000 people every night, no matter what. You walk anywhere in the streets, people are gonna know who you are. Even when I'll never forget going to winter warm up and being in Double A, and this kid from Miami shows up here in winter warm up. It's a little colder than I was used to, and I get here and I'm like, go to a restaurant or something, and somebody, oh, you're John Jay, you're in Springfield, you had a great year. I'm like, this is like, I could walk around Miami and have 10 years in the big leagues with 10 All-Stars and no one knows who you are. So it's like, it was like, that's something I recognized early on how special St. Louis is.
You said baseball kept you on the right path and kept you making the right decisions. Were there any moments, conversations you had with specific coaches or players that stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of them. Players, guys like Yachty, Albert, Matt Holliday, Pujols. I said Albert. Chris Carpenter. One specific one I'll say, which is pretty cool, is after we won the World Series, it's 2012 spring training, and Chris Carpenter, talking to him, he was always a huge mentor to myself and some of the other younger guys, and we had won and we had earned the veterans' trust at that point. And I remember him having a conversation with myself, Craig, Descalzo, and Freeze, and was saying, hey, like, I'm going to challenge you guys to take more of a leadership role on this team. And we're all kind of looking around like, dude, we've only been here a year and a half. Like, and he's like, no, you guys are the future of this organization. You guys are the future of this team. You guys, you get what it takes to be a Cardinal. So I challenge you guys to go out there and do that every day. And for us as young players, I mean, that's something that, you had the biggest leader in this team that had been around forever. And he's telling us, these young guys, like, hey, take over, like, do what you do and lead. And that's something that I'll never forget. He gave us that confidence. And it was something that's, the beautiful part about this organization is passing down the game and really paying it forward.
John, you guys you have a photo up on the event site for the event that's coming up here. You've got a cool event this coming up a week from Sunday. So on July 10th, it'll be fun at the FGLC, the Family Golf and Learning Center. I just tweeted out a link to that, and we'll tell everybody about it later, but you can find it at eventbrite.com. If you go there and search J Family Foundation, people can find a way to get tickets to that. But as you're doing these things now, and you're obviously at a point where you played 12 years, you've been around all of these people, you can reflect back like you are now. You guys came up. You had a picture. The reason I bring this up, you had a picture of you, Alan Craig, Daniel Descalzo, and who was it? David Freese, right? You guys were the Memphis Mafia at that time. And the young guys, I'm sure, you guys knew your role. You explained that they were giving you responsibilities fairly early on. But go back to that 2010, 2011. What was it like coming in as a young dude with all those guys around and Tony La Russa running the show? Was there any intimidation factor at all when you're getting to the big leagues and you're like, oh my God, look at these guys?
I think, there was a little bit, but I think, you get those nerves out of the way in spring training. When you're in spring training, and I'll never forget my first big league spring training. I was like, wow, like there's Albert and there's Yachty, and like you're wide eyed and you're just like looking around, like oh my goodness, So I think, you kind of get that out of the way there. But I think the special thing about that group of guys you just mentioned, and I remember we used to call ourselves the YGC, the young guy crew. And, the cool thing with that group, and I always say is, when we were in Memphis together in playing, you'd look around and you'd see guys get called up and you're like, man, look at that guy. Like, I know I'm better than that guy. I know I can be in the big leagues. But our sentiment within that group, and that's why I love those guys to death, and was we kept encouraging each other. Like, hey, look, those guys are getting called up on these organizations that, look, they're not going to go to the playoffs. They're not going to be able to win. But like, let's take care of business that we need to take care of here. And one day we're going to have a chance to, possibly win in the big leagues. And then I'll never forget 2009, we had the youngest team in AAA that year. We started off the first 2 months terribly. We were all, had to make adjustments and just all this stuff. And we took off the second half. We won AAA. And that was kind of like, hey, man, like we won here. We just showed this organization that we're winners and it's going to pay off for us. So then, by the time we got called up in 2010 and then had bigger roles in 2011, it was just natural for us. And I think that's something we proved to the veteran players. We're like, hey, we're here to win. We're here to help out any way we can. We're not going to complain if we're not starting that day. Hey, you need me to come off the bench? Cool. What do you need me to do? I want to be a St. Louis Cardinal. I want to have a chance to win here. And then it's crazy that it happened so fast.
John Jay's in studio with us. The Jay Family Foundation event is coming up a week from Sunday. It's July 10th at the Family Golf and Learning Center. It'll be 6 to 10 o'clock at night. That's around 270 in Big Bend. Easy to get to anywhere in town. You can get tickets, find out more at eventbrite.com. I'm going to ask you a couple questions about that event in a couple of minutes when we come back. I also got to ask you about tequila, man. I don't drink anything but tequila. It's literally the only thing I drink. So I got questions for you. John Jay with us in studio on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
If you're planning to sell your St. Louis area home, now may be the best time to capture the highest sale value before the market changes. This is Debbie Monterey, and according to industry experts, the real estate market has shifted. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty agrees, and she has options to help every type of home seller because she understands that every situation is different. If you need to sell your home quickly, but you're worried about finding your next home, Gloria has your answers and solutions. Gloria has an instant cash offer program that gives you above market cash offers, no showings, no hassles, and you pick the closing date even up to a year, giving you the cash and time needed to find your next home. Call Gloria Liu and ask her about the instant cash offer guarantees or other options that will help you sell fast and for the most money. Call 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria has the buyers.com.
I was out last night with my friend Patty from a radio station I can't mention because, this is going on other radio stations. It's a rock and roll station. But she has issues with her on her second floor. Her husband made a point, and she actually said it too, because I actually go out and run appointments. Call the office and ask them how much they like me being in the office. Then you'll know I am out on the street constantly, 12 hours a day, running service calls. So if you have a problem with your air conditioner, if it's broke, or if it's not cooling, or if somebody says you need a new system, please do yourself a favor, take the time, call me. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Remember, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Do not call the wrong number. It is 314-293-2600. Bart Inman, Bart with a B, Inman with an I, 314-293-2600, or bartinman.com. Again, B-I. Bart with a B.
CertaPro commercial painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
Power of minimal disruption.
We work with you to ensure a smooth project,
The power of making you look good.
making sure it's done right, on time and within budget, so every property manager looks like a hero. That's CertaPro painters.
The power of pro.
Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Connect with KMOX on air, online, 11:20 a.m., 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
It's 11:18 on the show on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here on a Friday heading into 4th of July weekend. John Jay in studio with us. You guys probably know already, but just in case you don't, at John JU on Twitter. And there you can find out more about the Jay Family Foundation event that's coming up this Sunday, July 10th at Family Golf and Learning Center, 6 to 10 p.m. We're talking the whole deal, right? Like food, drinks, fun. What should people expect?
Yeah, food, drinks, and a lot of fun. I know it's short notice. I know it's short notice.
It's a weekend.
But it's short notice. But the whole thing was, so Daniel Descalzo is actually going to be throwing out the first pitch next weekend, and Adam Betts is a good friend of mine. He's like my golf coach, and we've been talking about doing stuff. So literally last week, I'm like, hey, I know it's super short notice, but we have plans on doing a lot of things in St. Louis. So let's just do an event now. Let's get the word out. Let's have some fun, and we'll continue to grow it every year. So we're super excited about that. So it's going to be $100 to get in, food, drinks, a lot of fun. There's going to be some surprise guests we're announcing this week. And then we're going to also have a closest to the pin competition for another $100. And then that's going to be cool. So I'll be competing in that. Daniel Descalzo will be in that, and we'll have others as well. So it's going to be pretty good, pretty cool. And then, we're raising money for, the J Family Foundation, which I am going to be, we're doing stuff in St. Louis and in Miami. So, I think 2 years ago, I partnered with the Boys and Girls Club. We did like a whole skateboard giveaway during Christmas.
Yeah, I think we talked about that back then.
Yeah, we did. So that was a lot of fun. So I'm planning on getting very involved in the community here as well as in Miami. And, for me, it goes back. I learned that here in St. Louis. I'll never forget, my first year and us having an off day. And, I'm thinking, all right, I have an off day. I'm going to go hang out. And it's like, you have the Tony La Russa ARF tournament you got to go to. I'm like, what does that mean? So, it really just showed me the impact of paying it forward and using our platform. So I'm excited. We're partnering here with Adam Betts and Family Golf with the Missouri Golf Foundation, which helps underprivileged kids and kids that wouldn't have access to playing golf. They run camps. The Boys and Girls Club here. So there's a lot of good organizations, and the website's currently getting done. We have everything up and running, and so in the past I would always partner with foundation with the Boys and Girls Club foundations. But now it's exciting to have my own foundation where I'll really have an imprint.
I know we were talking off the air too that you live in town for part of the year. Your wife's from here, so you guys are going to be around a lot. I know you spend a lot of time down in South Florida too, but this is not the time of year you want to be in South Florida.
No. So it's funny.
It's hot here, but man, that's different.
Yeah. And everyone knows I love Miami. I mean, I've talked about it my whole time here and all that, but I love St. Louis just as much. My daughters were born here. My wife's from here. We do spend a lot of time here. So, and we have been for a while. Even when I wasn't playing here, we'd spend a lot of time here during Christmas break, or when the season would finish, we'd always spend a month and a half here. So, it's always nice to be here. And yeah, it was nice to escape the real humidity of Miami, South Florida. So I can deal with it here. It's hot, but it's, you're not just like sweating the whole time, which is pretty cool.
So I know that you didn't officially retire until just a few months ago, right? Like I think it was the end of April. What's it like to get to retire at like 37? That must be amazing.
Yeah. Like you said, we talked about it earlier, baseball's been an unbelievable blessing for me. And I know how lucky I am to be in a position to be able to retire, at 37 years old. So yeah, it was nice to be able to do that. But I look forward to, doing other things now. I'm the type of person I just can't sit still. Like,
right.
It's funny. I tell my wife, like, the busier I am is when I'm happy. Like, when I don't have a lot of things to do, I just kind of sit there and I'm just like, So it's been nice staying busy. I'm actually going back to school, getting my undergrad degree in business. So
at Miami,
of
Awesome.
course, I'm in campus. I park at the baseball field, skateboard through campus, which has been a blast.
Oh man,
so I'm getting to relive like my childhood now.
You're living life backwards.
By the way, how weird is it?
It's awesome.
Well, it's probably not as weird for you because Gino DeMare is the head coach there. Gino was my teammate in college, and obviously he's the big shooter now running things. Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. And like for myself, Gino was my one of the most instrumental coaches in my career.
He recruited you, didn't he?
He recruited me. Outfield. I took a lot of pride in my defense. That's what kept me in the big leagues for so long, and a lot of that I owe to Gino. So it's cool to see him, see the guys, and it was cool to be in class with the players. Usually I get to know them on the field or whatnot, but like it was cool to have them actually in class and like do group projects together, and then see them at the field, and I can give them advice on different things. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun. Definitely an adjustment, but a lot of fun.
Now you've got your World Series ring on, and the World Series ring is super cool, but I think skateboarding is really cool. Are you a good skateboarder? Are you pretty good at it? Have you skateboarded your whole life?
I have. I skateboarded since I was a kid. I was bigger into inline rollerblading when I was a kid. I could always skateboard. I always had a skateboard around when I played, longboard, just take it nice and easy. And then, like the last year, I started dropping in on, some quarter pipes and some some bowls.
The first time in your life, you don't have to worry about getting hurt.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about. Which I'm actually nursing a bum ankle right now.
Oh no! Yeah. Is it a skateboarding thing?
Yeah, skateboarding thing. I was at Elm Park here the other day, and it didn't work out well for me. Which is awesome. St. Louis has so many cool skate parks. Which is super super cool. But I can skateboard. I could ride a skateboard. There's different levels to this, but it's funny. My mom sees me do some tricks, and she's like, "John, do you have a chance to like?" I'm like, "No, Mom. These guys are doing stuff that's like way out of my league." But I love skateboarding so much. It's funny. I actually I went to my first skateboarding competition last week
No
in LA.
kidding.
Yeah, it was the Battle of the Barracks. And actually, a local St. Louis guy was in it, Tyler Peterson.
Yeah.
So we become friends from here. And he called me like 2 weeks ago, like, hey, I'm going to be in the finals. Like, come out. I was like, I'm there. So it was cool to see him and root him on. He finished in second place, but he really put himself on the map. And so I think, St. Louis is going to have a future top 10 skateboarder in Tyler Peterson, which is pretty cool.
One last thing I want to throw at you that's not baseball or any of this fun stuff related, but I mean, it's post-baseball life because you're just talking about being retired. You're not really like fully retired. You're just not playing baseball anymore because I know that you've got an interest in a tequila company. You're saying you're obviously continuing to pursue your degree and all of that, so you're staying busy. How did the tequila thing come up? How did Lo Ciento come up?
Yeah, it was crazy. A good friend of mine in LA, one of the co-founders, D. Murphy, I've known him for 12 years now and does extremely well in business and entrepreneurship. And it's funny. So Daniel Descalzo and myself, we took a class at Harvard last year in the spring. It's called the Crossover into Business School. So it kind of just got us both on this, this path of really wanting to dive in these things. We knew we were both going to retire soon. And I was in his office in LA and I told D, I go, D, everything you touch turns to gold. Like, just give me one opportunity. I've seen this happen for 12 years. Like, I'm ready for this stuff. And he literally was like, hey, here's this deck for this tequila company. I was like, cool. I don't know anything about tequila, but let me dive into this. But I'm a big, believer in, you bet on people. So I called Daniel right away, who's my partner. And I'm like, dude, I think we have a great opportunity. And then we put together a group and we did the initial investment, which is awesome. And then, next thing you know, I'm getting an email update and it's like, hey, we just secured an account with Geodis Park, which is a new soccer stadium in Nashville. We're the official exclusive tequila of the stadium.
Nice.
I'm like, what does that mean?
Guys.
I'm like, what does that mean? So I actually went to the first game of the stadium, and as soon as I walk in, there's like Lo Ciento everywhere. And I was just like, I literally called Descalzo and was like, dude, this is crazy. And like I sent a video to our wives and us in a group text that we have going on. And I was like, look, ladies, look at
the moguls, man. You're the moguls.
Look at this is yours too. You're part of it. So yeah, it's been a ton of fun just learning a different business. And I started drinking a little bit more tequila now, which is probably the only thing I drink.
So now you know about it.
Now I know about it. Yeah, it's funny. I used to be I would occasionally drink scotch before. Whiskey was like my thing, and then like I look back now, I'm like, man, how did I drink that stuff? I'm like,
missing out.
This tequila is just way better, way smoother, way easier. So it's been a lot of fun just learning the business. On premise, off premise. So we're actually in California and in Tennessee, in Nashville, on premise, and then we're direct to consumer in 39 states. So learning all this stuff, which has been cool. And then I'm back in class taking strategic management and families and business. So like it's like all tying in together. And like my brain's just like, oh my God, all these little light bulbs are going off. And so it's been a lot of fun.
So you're basically The Rock without the wrestling and movie career.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, the movie career is pretty big.
We working on it.
I'm saying The Rock. The Rock that puts him on another. That's this guy's a global superstar.
Yeah, man.
So, but it's been a ton of fun. Like putting input, and they've been really great with me. The founders of just like letting us be strategically involved and like with all that planning stuff. So it's been a lot of fun.
So you can find more about that at LosCientoTequila.com if you want to check it out. I want to remind everybody before we say goodbye, the J Family Foundation event coming up Sunday. That's a week from this Sunday, July 10th at the Family Golf and Learning Center, 6 to 10 p.m. It's in the 270 Big Bend area, real close to everywhere in town. I can get there in 20 minutes from pretty much anywhere. You can find out more at eventbrite.com. Just search J Family Foundation there, or just check out John J.U. on Twitter or the show on Twitter. We've been tweeting all this stuff. It's good to see you, dude.
Good to see you guys.
Congrats on all the success and everything. We'll look forward to seeing you down the road.
I got to come back in the summer. I'm going to be hanging out.
Hey, anytime you want. Studio's open to you.
Open chair. I love this stuff.
All right. Good to see you, buddy.
All right. Thanks.
We'll pick up the show next on KMOX.
You may find yourself in a beautiful house.
The voices of your morning news.
I'm Debbie Monterey.
I'm Tom Ackerman.
Good morning. I'm Megan Lynch.
Weather.
AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore.
Traffic.
I'm Roger Brand.
Sports.
I'm Tom Ackerman on the home of the Cardinals.
Your voices for morning news and information. And now,
I'm Carol Daniel.
And I'm Tom Ackerman.
With more news, interviews, and in-depth story analysis.
Expanded Total Information AM.
Total Information AM 5 till 8. Expanded Total Information AM 8 till 10. On 98.7 FM, 1120 AM. And streaming on the Odyssey app.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. Busey's community focus takes us to Edwardsville in July. I'm joined by Steve Grant, Vice President and Busey Area Manager for Edwardsville, and a Rotarian to talk about the Busey Bank Rotary Criterium Festival, a fun biking event coming this summer. Listen to our July podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
Mark Cox here. Join me as we head to enchanting Germany to see fairy tale castles like Neuschwanstein and picturesque Bavarian villages, medieval Munich, the world-famous Hofbrauhaus, even Mozart's Salzburg in Austria, too. Join me this fall, $49.49. That includes your airfare. Call 888-733-9494 or go online today to conservativetours.com. That's conservativetours.com.
At 420ID.com, we make it easy to get your Missouri medical marijuana card. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in, so why wait? 420ID is the only company that provides you with a real plastic ID card and have served over 19,000 happy Missouri patients. Open late every day until 9 p.m. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420ID.com. Today is the day to sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card at 420ID.com. Use promo code RADIO and save $30 today. That's 420ID.com. Summer is here, and that means grilling season is in full force at Cotton's Ace Hardware. At Cotton's Ace Hardware, you'll receive free assembly, free delivery, free haul away of your old grill, and free fuel for your new grill purchase of $300 or more. That's a $169 savings value. With your selection from Weber to Traeger and your local retailer of the Big Green Egg, Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. To find your nearest St. Louis location, go to cottonsacehardware.com.
At 11:30, it's sunny and 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. Ukrainian authorities say Russian missile attacks on residential buildings in a coastal town near the port city of Odessa have killed at least 21 people, including 2 children. The White House says President Joe Biden will present the nation's highest civilian honor to 17 people, including gymnast Simone Biles, actor Denzel Washington, and the late Arizona Republican Senator John McCain, with whom Biden served in the Senate. The latest Remington research poll is good news for Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt. It shows he's the choice of 25% of GOP voters, with former Governor Eric Greitens in second with 20. Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler is close behind at 19%. The survey conducted a week ago shows the race is up for grabs, with 21% still undecided. There's a crash on 141 South past Marshall Road. The 2 left lanes are closed. Emergency vehicles on 6440 going east past Woods Mill. Right lane is blocked, and a crash on 44 West before Antire. The left lane closed. Our weather forecast, partly sunny, hot, humid today. A few spot PM storms with a high of 95 degrees today. Overnight, more humid, low 72. Tomorrow, pretty humid with scattered showers and storms and a high of 88 degrees. Right now, downtown at the Arch, we've got sun, and it's 91 degrees, some clouds. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
McKnight Place Assisted Living and Memory Care. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years. Features luxury accommodations and exceptional service. At McKnight Place, residents enjoy spacious apartments, walking paths through lush gardens, fine dining, engaging activities, and more. As a trusted expert in senior living, they are there for you and your family. Questions? Concerns? Call McKnight Place at 314-993-3333 or visit McKnightPlace.com.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold Toyota. If you're worried about gas prices, Toyota has the most models of hybrid electrics in the industry. From the best-selling Camry to the best-selling RAV4, we've got it all. So come see us. That's Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
I'm Listening reminds you that you are not alone and that talk saves lives. There's a new national hotline for mental health-related distress, 988. When you call or text 988 from any phone, you will be connected directly with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. They can get you the help you need anytime, anywhere. 988, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. Find out more at imlistening.org.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sundays at 10:15 on Sports Open Line and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show
I'm excited for not only the club but for the fans. This is a special year for sure.
on KMOX.
Watch back another show on a Friday leading into 4th of July weekend. Looking forward to the weekend. Hope you guys have a good time. You'll all get the long weekend. We will be here on the 4th of July. We will be here on Monday, but only for half a show. We get 2 hours on Monday. And then after that, we've got a lot of 4th of July programming here on KMOX. So we'll hang out with you guys pre-barbecue, pre-fireworks, the whole deal.
We're going to be, from what I understand, and I'm looking forward to this, we're going to be lighting fireworks in the studio.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
No, those are just me throwing poppets at you guys.
That's not a firework. Like, I mean, we're talking bottle rockets and the Roman candles
Mhm.
and the things that explode twice. What?
What are the smoke things?
Smoke bombs?
Smoke bombs.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
that.
The smoke things. Did you guys ever, when you were a kid, you ever get those little snake things?
Yeah, those are lame.
Yeah, they're stupid as heck. But
They're
when you're
really
a kid,
dumb.
you're like, I burned something. You're like excited because you're setting off firecrackers. You get a sparkler. You ever get those?
I've been hearing the reports on Total Information AM on sparklers and how they can be 2,000 degrees.
Yeah.
Melt metal.
Yeah. If they sustain long enough, yeah.
So don't put them in your mouth.
Yeah.
And
Did you
don't
have
do what
any-
Kevin and his friends used to do and maybe still do, shoot bottle rockets at each
Oh
other.
no, I don't shoot bottle rockets.
Oh, when I was a kid, don't do this. Again, if you're listening, don't do this. We used to, you know how wiffle ball bats have the little hole at the bottom?
Yeah.
So we would light the bottle rockets, put them in the hole, and then aim
Shoot at each
at our
other.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
didn't do
horrible. Did you have any injuries?
No. Still very unsafe. Don't do it ever. But we did it. We were kids. We were stupid.
Yeah, people are stupid.
My mom doesn't know that until just now.
Just now.
that. Sorry, Mom.
Yep.
We went to a bonfire, and we weren't kids. We were in our early 20s, and one of the guys was setting off, all the big fireworks, and this was way out in the country, way out in Franklin County or Jefferson County, but out in like just a very rural area because his parents had a farm. And so he's setting off these pretty big fireworks.
Dynamite.
I don't know. They're the big ones, right? Where they launch and then there's a delay and then an explosion. And we're sitting by the bonfire. The show's over. He grabs the boxes, all the fireworks that have already been shot off. And he takes the box and he goes, I'm going to get rid of this in the bonfire.
Oh,
so
no.
he throws the fireworks boxes into the bonfire. And guess what, guys? Sometimes fireworks don't go off. Sometimes there's a dud. And when you throw it in a bonfire, they shoot laterally along the ground. And it was the most dangerous, 2 minutes of my life.
Did
I'm
anybody-
still angry.
Anybody get hurt?
No, but literally someone could have died.
That's
These
fine.
were giant fireworks shooting, 4 feet off
Like
the ground.
real ones, like
The real
colors and
ones.
stuff, not like bottle
So
rockets.
no. The ones where it goes thump, and you wait a few seconds, you try to track it, and then boom, a big explosion. The ones that are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Yep. Do you
Where
know
do
how dangerous that is?
Where do you guys fall on the whole let's shoot off our own fireworks thing all weekend long on the 4th of July?
If you're in the country, I have no problem with it. Like this guy, I mean, I think it was several hundred acres, right?
Yeah.
That's totally fine. You have
What about it just a normal neighborhood? What
no,
would
you can't
you
do
think
that.
no?
I think no, because it lands on people's houses. It
Yeah.
lands on
So you're a
roofs.
big no on that.
Yeah.
Just from that perspective, where it will land on somebody's house, I'm a no. But if I'm only hearing it, it doesn't bother me. Like, it doesn't wake me up. It's not a nuisance for me in terms of the sound. But if it lands on somebody's roof and then the roof is on fire,
The roof.
Yeah, not
roof.
like that, because that's
The roof is on fire.
Yeah.
We don't need no water.
Yeah, let the
blankety blanker dinner.
Yeah.
You don't know that song, Amy? We'll play it for you during the break.
You
Okay.
really
It's a
don't
song.
know
You
that?
really don't
Well,
know?
I don't know.
You may know.
You know
it
what
when
I
hear it.
noticed?
I'm not great with lyrics.
Yeah.
You know what I
really only
noticed?
hear the
You would
vowel
probably
sounds.
remember that because they say the roof is on fire 800 times in that song.
When we played the thing from Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And the lady guessed the Funky Bunch instead of Amy.
I
Amy
hate you so much.
Amy didn't laugh because she didn't know who either
Yes, I
person.
did
She doesn't know who
laugh.
Public Enemy
I
is.
do.
And she doesn't know
Who's
who
Public
the
Enemy?
Funky
Mark
Bunch is.
and shut up.
She had like a
Listen to
nervous
him
laughter,
laugh.
like, haha, that's funny, but I don't know why.
I don't what? I don't even like you guys right now, and it's hurting my feelings.
Come on.
Oh,
You're
man.
fine.
I just say if you guys
I don't like you and it's hurting my feelings. Oh. Now you know how I felt when you guys are hanging out with Glover the other day, and I'm walking by the window like, can I come in?
You were. I mean, it was almost,
very sad.
It was almost Dickensian. You were like a poor little child in the street.
Please,
Yeah.
sir. I'd
Yeah.
like to be
Can I
on
have
the
some-
radio.
Can I be in there too?
Yeah.
Well,
You
the thing
actually
is,
did
he
open the
asked.
door.
I did.
You're like, huh?
Oh, cool.
And Glover
You guys
said,
are having a good time, huh?
we have
All
no
right.
more mics.
No more mics.
Yeah.
We were mic'd out.
Well, I guess I know who got the last one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they got one now.
I know. Me
I'm out there
too.
holding a bowl, an empty bowl with a spoon in it, waiting for you to feed me. Oh, poor me.
Hey, can you can you
What?
tell the story of when you were swaddled?
When I was
and
swaddled?
you-
Yeah. You and
on
your,
the back
your dad.
porch.
Oh, that's not funny.
You said it was funny.
You said it was funny.
So, why are you laughing so hard at this?
Probably the look on your face.
So,
That's probably it.
I'm a baby.
Not now. We're talking about when you were an actual baby.
Well,
You're
kind of a baby
actually
now.
a baby.
When I was a baby, a little,
How old?
I don't know,
Like
baby. How old was a
Like,
baby?
a
like
baby.
before you were talking, before you were
Yeah,
walking?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
10
So-
months, 12 months.
I don't know. Maybe,
Wrapped up.
maybe 3. Who
Okay,
knows?
okay. But you're
So-
like wrapped up.
It was cold.
You were a burrito.
I was a burrito. I was cold. It was cold. I'm wrapped up in the blanket, and my dad is walking down the back steps of this apartment building, and it's icy, and his feet
Oh, no.
slip out from under him, and his elbows, like he braces himself with his elbows,
That had to hurt.
and I rolled down his front, and then I hit one of the posts, and I fell off the side.
Do you remember this, or is this
No,
just something
I don't
you were
remember.
told?
I'm
It's a
just
horrible
yeah,
story.
but everybody knows about it. And then my mom freaked out,
Oh yeah,
screamed, and
Yeah.
I was dead. I guess.
I have.
but I didn't know.
I would say this, and you guys can text if you want to 436
Why why it's so damn funny to Amy
It's
though?
not
Well, it's-
funny because you're okay. You were okay.
Yes, you're fine. That's why.
How
It's
do you
funny.
know?
But
Maybe I
mean,
have long lasting effects.
I think you might. But
Well,
like,
I mean, we see some of them every day, but
Oh.
if you were completely swaddled and you just gently rolled down your dad's
Yeah.
stomach, down his legs, and down the stairs, it's not funny because but you're okay.
yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing though, like, and you're Ron, you're an only child, right?
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So like when you're a new parent and you have your first baby,
Uh-huh.
everything scares the crap out of you. Like
Yeah.
you're constantly worried. You're constantly like, is this going to hurt him? Is that going to hurt him? Is that going to? And I think everybody has that moment or one very similar to it or close to it. Like I didn't have an actual drop of my daughter,
yeah.
but I had an almost drop
Oh.
where we're on the
That's
changing
not good.
table. And I'm like, I can't reach the diaper. And I start to reach. And then I look over and baby's rolling over. So I had to just come back and scoop and catch.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like, but it's you're on all the time. People do make those simple little mistakes. It's not rare. Then by the time you're on your second or third kid, it's like,
Yeah.
it'll be okay. They fall, they'll be all right.
Would like to say that was the only time my dad did it, but
Oh no.
Well, about the time when
There was-
when you were
there was
15
at-
was weird.
there was at least 1 or 2 times that he fell asleep in a chair holding me, and then
Wow.
thunk, I'm on the ground. It did happen at least once. It may have happened
How
twice.
do you know this?
Because they tell me about
they
it.
told you about it.
And my dad, he didn't care. He was like, "Well, it's fine. We'll make another one." He didn't care.
Wow.
That's
He didn't say
sad.
that.
I was
He
going to
didn't
say,
really that.
that was pretty cold.
My dad was
But
a
I
good
mean,
guy.
it is true though that stuff happens all the time with little ones, and it's scary as hell. And when
We're
you're
gonna
a
get in
first time parent, you're like that. But it's always like the second and third kids. And I only have one kid myself, but in watching family members and in talking to them, they're like, yeah, second or third time around, you realize
Because you realize they're pretty
Fall- li-
resilient.
but like little things like that are gonna happen. We don't want the whole like, because some of the kids when they get a little bit older, like they climb out of their own cribs.
Yeah.
I got my
Oh, yeah.
one of our really good friends had the kid's now like 26 years old, but when he was like 2, he would climb the bookshelves in the living room.
That's
and
really
be
bad.
up on top.
Yeah, that's really
But
bad.
this kid, I
Yeah.
mean, like he could do this himself. He could climb a chair,
So that
unlock the door
Yeah.
to the apartment, and he would go running outside the apartment.
so that was me when I was 2. You know how like you had the old school swing sets, like the metal swing sets and
course.
the 2 swings. And my mom said to this day she doesn't know how I did it, but I crawled up the A-frame side of the swing set to the top bar. I was 2 years old and got up to that top bar. And she's like, and you were hanging from the top bar, and she had to run and like come grab me. And she goes, I don't know how you got up there.
Of all people,
I climbed.
I don't know how
on everything.
you got up there.
I was a good climber. I could climb.
And you said how old again?
I was 2.
2. Yeah.
Like
Wow.
where the parent is wondering, how did this happen? And also, this is really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact age, but I was pretty young. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 or 4, but in that range. And my parents would wake up in the morning, and the first time it happened, it freaked them out. They just wake up. I'm not in the house.
Oh, no.
I'm not there. I'm in the backyard in my sandbox, just playing with my cars.
That's so
I would in
Wait,
my,
what
right by
time
my
of day
swing
was
set.
this?
It would be like 6 in the morning. I'd wake up and I
Oh
want
my
to go.
God.
I want to go play in the sandbox, so I'm just gonna go out back and go play in the sandbox.
When Kevin was a morning person.
Yeah, I was when I was little,
Oh,
dude.
that reminds me. We got
I
a
am
text
now again,
message.
too.
I don't know if you guys saw this text, but I meant to read it yesterday, so I saved it. We got this text yesterday toward the end of the show, and it was from a 314. It says, the show, a sweet girl that recently discovered conservatives aren't as nice as she thought, the guy who has good points but is too long-winded, and the sports guy that hates being up so early.
You're that guy too, though.
But I don't know. That's
but
that's
here's
what
the
I
thing is,
said.
both of those two things are both of us.
That's what I said. I don't know which one. Which one is Kevin and which one is me?
Pretty much both.
Yeah, that's why I thought we're both the same guy.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. To a degree.
Yeah. I hate being up early, but I love it because I get to see you guys. You know, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm like used to it now. It took
I
about
love
about a
mornings.
week.
You know what's happening to me on weekends? I'm sleeping in till like 9. You know what? Me
You used to-
sleeping in till 9?
Yeah, because you were like a 10 o'clock guy.
Dude, if I sleep in on a weekend,
Yeah.
I'm like 11:30 or noon.
Well, last Sunday I got
Yeah.
up at 11.
Ugh.
Last Sunday.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with me.
I had a long week and a long Friday,
Yeah, it's
Saturday, because we
different.
traveled for baseball and I had to drive and do all that, and it was a long day. So Saturday was a long day, and then I'm like, Sunday, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna sleep until I wake up.
If
and
I
that's
did
when
that-
I woke up.
Yeah, if I did that, it would be 6:45.
Really?
Yeah, if I slept.
My
until
dad
I
is
woke
like
up.
that. My dad has
6:30.
not used an alarm clock his entire life.
Yeah.
Not to go to work, nothing. He just wakes up.
How old's your dad?
73.
Yeah, so is Amy.
I know.
Amy
Once it hits 5
Waking up
o'clock, I have to keep
in a
working at
robe,
it.
goes out to the driveway to get her paper with
Hi.
coffee,
Hi, neighbor.
comes back. I slept in till 6:45 today.
Guess want to go out to dinner at 4 o'clock?
Oh,
Yeah.
if there's anybody in this room that will take advantage of the early bird, it's that one right
Oh,
there.
Me too, but it's just a late lunch for me.
That's right. We call it brunch.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at the Gelman team, and they are my friends, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. So why settle for one offer on your home when Mark and Neil Gelman can give you multiple instant offers up to $100,000 over the asking price? But let me say this. Getting multiple offers is not necessarily a good thing if you have a lesser realtor, because it's going to confuse them. It's going to confuse the issue. They may take the wrong offer. The Gelmans are used to getting multiple offers even before this recent white-hot real estate market. They are the best in the business. They get more money for their homes. They sell their homes faster. And here's one of my favorite things, drama-free. And I can speak from experience. I've done 3 real estate transactions with the Gelmans personally. They completely take care of you. They're also very willing to buy your home cash on the barrelhead. 314-336-1991, thegelmanteam.com.
This Independence Day, the Boston Pops Fireworks Spectacular is back in Boston. Presented by Bloomberg and Eaton Vance. Join conductor Keith Lockhart with special appearances by Shaka Khan, Javier Colon, and Heather Headley. Watch and listen Monday, July 4th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Bloomberg Television, Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg.com, Bloomberg Quick Take, and the Bloomberg Business app.
When choosing a skilled nursing memory care community, choose Park Provence. Considered by U.S. News and World Reports as a best memory care community for nearly 20 years, they've been the experts at treating dementia and Alzheimer's disease. If you're faced with making a difficult decision for your loved one, talk to the leaders at memory care at Park Provence. Learn more by calling 314-542-5200 or visit parkprovence.com. That's PARC Provence.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
Maureen talks about her experience using 3-day kitchen and bath.
I had for years been dreaming how I wanted my kitchen down to every detail. When 3-day kitchen and bath came, they were thrilled to death that I knew exactly what I wanted. They came back with a drawing and it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. They came in, they did their thing, and it turned out as perfect as I imagined it. The quality of it is beautiful. It's amazing. It is beautiful. They were efficient. They were trustworthy. The recommendations were unquestionable. And they were going to do exactly what I wanted. I had a lovely experience.
Start your remodel today by visiting 3daykitchen.com.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
An important message from SNL Coins Gold and Silver buyers. SNL Coins Gold and Silver buyers pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, diamonds, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver. Get a quote with a call to SNL 544-3600, SNL Coins 544-3600, or visit SNL 9300 Gravois just east of Mackenzie, 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call SNL 544-3600.
The following is a commercial announcement.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Filing for Social Security could be one of the biggest financial decisions of your lifetime. Find out why with Your Retirement Professors. Saturday afternoons at 1. On St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
54 years, Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. Get a dozen award-winning donuts for under $10. Just bring in the coupon from the website on your smartphone. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in Florissant. Get your dozen and grab a coffee or latte today.
How long does it take an adult to learn to swim? It typically takes 20 hours of set lessons. What are you waiting for? Go to swimonfoundation.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
You know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this.
The show on KMOX.
It's Friday on the show, leading into a holiday weekend. We got some. We're not nearly done yet. Mike Claiborne's going to join us a little bit later on. Mike, he texted me, by the way. He's going to be on the team bus. So Claims will be 1:30 today.
Okay.
We were thinking about 1:05-ish, but he's going to be on the bus headed to the ballpark. So he's going to be 1:30 today. And we got Rich Rubino coming up next hour. We're going to talk about like the infighting in politics, like fighting within parties, and whether or not there are any kind of historical comparisons to the way things are now, because it's pretty crazy. Did you guys see the video of the debate in Wyoming?
Oh, God.
I mean, obviously Liz Cheney is the incumbent and she's got multiple challengers. And we had, what day was it? We had just John Hancock in. Was it 2 days ago or maybe yesterday? It was yesterday, right? When we asked him about this, and he's like, yeah, Liz Cheney's probably going to lose. She's going to be primaried just based on her participation in the committee hearings and some of the positions she's taken. She's not a fan of Trump, so obviously that's going to be a big part of the primary. Did you guys see that, though? Like, did you see
Now,
if you want to hear a little bit of it,
I do. And to be fair, it's edited just like they're taking bits of what people are saying, but it's not really out of context. It's not like they are purposely taking words out of context so these people look bad, but they look pretty bad.
It's
not good.
Just take a listen, and you'll know Liz Cheney because she'll be the one making some sense.
We're going to go to what we call a lightning round.
January 6th
was a setup from the beginning. We cannot have actual, anyway.
What we saw happen on January 6th was clearly an attempt to delay the count of the electoral votes.
Coronavirus vaccine policy.
They knew Fauci had awards for his work in cytokines.
Mr. Fauci is one of the most corrupt individuals in Washington, D.C.
We are to oppose any vaccines. Everybody ought to get vaccinated, and we need to do everything we can to protect ourselves from future viruses.
Wyoming residents' faith in the election process.
I understand when I talked to Mike Lindell, he did say that there was a small portion of voter fraud in this state, but that is alarming.
What about Facebook using the system to steer people? We know for a fact all the major internets do that.
The 2000 Mules movie is something that I think we have great concern about.
Voting machines that are suspected fraud.
There are politicians in this country, beginning with Donald Trump, who have lied to the American people. He consistently has said that the election was stolen when it wasn't.
Ukraine is corrupt. We started it. We got involved. We pushed them into being against the Russian government.
Money laundering. I think that's the biggest ticket for Ukraine's and the Biden administration.
It's the front line in the battle for freedom. And I think we've got to elect serious leaders.
So again, it's fine, by the way, if you don't like Liz Cheney because she doesn't like Trump. I don't have a problem with people's own perspectives. But if you're going to make cases about the things that you should be able to complete your sentence if you're going to be a senator. If you're going to be a senator, you should have complete thoughts, not be talking about, it's funny, the guy brings up Facebook. All the stuff they're mentioning is all the crap that's on Facebook, conspiracy theories and, it's Ukraine's fault, or it's our fault that Russia decided to start dropping bombs on a neighboring country that was no threat to them.
The defense of Russia is one of people over here, and I can understand Russian people who live there who are watching state media and nothing else. Them defending their homeland's actions, okay, I get that. I do not understand it if you live here and are defending that country or that government.
Or the woman who said, when referencing voter fraud in Wyoming, well, when I talked to Mike Lindell, he said there was some. The MyPillow guy? Why are you talking to the MyPillow guy?
Who's been wrong about everything.
This is ridiculous.
Look, have you guys seen the Kraken yet?
No.
I thought we were releasing
Are we still waiting on it
at some point.
I mean, it's been...
Well, Seattle named their hockey team.
Yeah, they got a hockey team now.
That's not what they meant.
Oh.
Well, because, they're new. They
Look,
did, technically.
They were released into the wild.
It's just, it's really disappointing because here's a person who is a longtime, very conservative person who I don't agree with a lot, who's extremely reasonable and people hate her for it. I don't get it.
Classic 107.3 and 96.3 HD2 St. Louis is seeking a full-time morning host. Do you have a passion for classical music and the arts? Are you an excellent broadcaster with strong social media skills? Do you like conducting interviews, making public appearances, and have a vast knowledge of classical music? Then this could be what you're looking for. For more information or to apply, visit classic1073.org/careers or email careers@classic1073.org.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market index returns and limit the downside? Join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio. You can also call me now for your complimentary Retirement and Income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
St. Louis bi-state summers are hot, humid, and can be deadly. Heat can even fry an egg on a sidewalk. For many seniors and the disabled, money goes to rent, medicine, and groceries, often with nothing left to pay utility bills. Please help seniors keep the air on, and let's check on elderly neighbors. CoolDownStLouis.org can also help Missouri and Illinois needy neighbors with utility bills. Get help, give help at CoolDownStLouis.org.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
An Odyssey station.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. With prices on everything going up fast, now is the time to buy. Edwards Carpet's having our 4th of July sale now through July 10th, and you'll pay no tax. Get 50-ounce carpets guaranteed for 15 and 20 years, completely installed with pad for only $449 to $499 a square foot, and we move the furniture and pull up your old carpet free. 12 months interest-free financing, and you'll pay no tax. Edwards Carpet, Ellisville, De Pere, and St. Charles.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news, KMOX.
At 12 noon, it's a sunny sky and 92 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. High gas prices have been altering travel plans for many Americans. AP correspondent Ben Thomas has more.
Gas prices have eased below $5 a gallon, but they remain high. AAA puts the national average at $4.84 per gallon this morning, and government data suggests that's prompting Americans to drive a bit less. Gas demand last week was down about 3% from a year ago, and a Quinnipiac University poll finds 40% of those surveyed saying gas prices have caused them to change their summer vacation plans.
Holiday air travel is almost back to pre-pandemic levels, but without the staffing in many cases to meet the demand. Even so, this passenger at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta says she is sympathetic to Delta pilots who are picketing.
They do have a right to picket, and they have a right to want change.
The owner of Ted Drew's says they can't spread their employee base thin enough to have 2 locations open. So the Chippewa store is open, but the one on Grand has not opened yet. Owner Travis Dillon.
I'm going to be opening my Grand Boulevard location at least. If I don't get it open this next week for a few weeks, I'm going to definitely get it open next year. That's my goal.
Last minute shopping to grill on the 4th. It's going to cost you.
The price of meat is up for Independence Day.
Probably about $1 more than it was last year.
Butcher Alex Sider at Harold's Market in Imperial tells me what's been jumping out of the meat fridge and onto the grill.
Spare ribs. That's the way to go.
Spare ribs is.
What do you do with them? How do you prepare them?
Personally, I like to smoke, so we go.
You put them in a smoker.
3 to 4 hours.
He says pork steaks and pork butts are the same prices as last year. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
American basketball star Brittany Griner went on trial outside Moscow today, accused of smuggling marijuana vapes into Russia. CBS's Charlie D'Agata has more.
We need to point out there that prosecutions are very high, extraordinarily high in Russia, 99% success rate. So in all likelihood, Brittany is going to be convicted unless she pulls off some sort of miracle.
Griner was due back in court on July 7th, and if convicted, she could face up to 10 years in prison. The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, what's in your cup?
Sales of Corona beer have stayed strong even during this period of high inflation because some things are just inflation-proof. The same can be said today for coffee. Thanks in part to bad weather limiting harvests, Arabica coffee futures keep rising, sure to add to higher prices we've already seen. But the head of coffee giant Lavazza tells Bloomberg that demand remains strong across all the ways coffee gets purchased, at cafes, for the home, and increasingly as people head back to offices for work. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel is down 83 points to 30,691. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. And emergency vehicles are on 6440 going east at McCausland. The right lane is blocked. A crash on 141 south past Marshall Road. Said the two left lanes closed. A stall 55 north past Rivas Barracks is on the right shoulder.
Our high temperature should be pretty close to 95 as we go through the afternoon. Remember, the hottest time of the year this time of year is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's sunny. Humidity is up a touch. Maybe a pop afternoon thunderstorm. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Evening temperatures drop out of the 90s into the upper 80s. Let's keep an eye out for a couple of thunderstorms, 72. Saturday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. There will be scattered showers and thunderstorms around anytime Saturday, but I really want to focus on the afternoon and evening. 88 Saturday afternoon. On Sunday, partly sunny. Watch for a couple of thunderstorms. 88 Monday. Hot and humid for the holiday. Couple of thunderstorms around classic St. Louis. 92 for the high on 4th of July. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's a sunny sky, 92 in Florissant, 91 in St. Peters, 92 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
12:04 on the show on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. We've had a lot of fun so far. We will continue with the fun as we go along. And, of course, Claves will be joining us at 1:30 to pick that up. We got a few other interesting topics to get into later on in the show as well. One we haven't gotten to yet is one that, honest to God, really bothers me. And it's stunning to me that 68 members of the White House press corps have to send a letter to the press secretary, to the people that are controlling access to the president of the United States, and send a letter complaining that there's too much restriction on access. They're picking and choosing who can be at which events amongst the credentialed reporters. And there's a lot more detail to it than this. But the simple version is access is being limited in a way that it has not been before. And, look, we know that during Trump's 4 years, they did a lot less, and especially in later years, a lot less of the daily briefings and the updates. And I understand all of that. I don't care who is the president. It doesn't matter to me. Here's what I care about. The people covering the White House need to have constant access. They need to be accessible. If they are credentialed, they should be involved in everything. They shouldn't be like, well, you're credentialed, but we're not going to let you in on this thing. We're going to pick and choose who's going to cover which event. We're going to screen, who's going to be in there. Listen, if you want the job of president of the United States, then you accept all of the things that go along with that. And that means answering questions. That means facing people who are going to ask you questions and not limiting who can do that or when they can do that or in what venue they can do it in. Because I don't know if you guys, what you guys see when you see this in this particular administration, but this comes across as protecting the president from making himself looking bad. That's what it looks like. If you need protection from the people that are simply asking you questions in the White House, maybe you shouldn't have that job.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as you mentioned, whether it's larger events, whatever the events happen to be, that were generally in past administrations, they were open press spaces. In the Biden administration, they have been closed and only select reporters are let in a mysterious pre-screening process.
Right, they're not explaining who's getting chosen and why.
So the Biden aides have not told, they've refused to tell the Correspondents Association the selection criteria. And so the letter that these 68 reporters signed, and it's everyone from CBS's Stephen Portnoy to Maggie Haberman.
Who is the president of the White House Press Corps, or not? What did you say the association was again?
The Correspondents,
the
White House
Correspondents Association, yeah.
And then Maggie Haberman of the New York Times to Olivia Nuzzi. So a whole array of some of the most prominent reporters in Washington. Part of the letter said the current method of allowing a limited number of reporters into these events is not only restrictive and antithetical to the concept of a free press, but it has been done without any transparent process into how reporters are selected to cover these events. And then it just goes on to say, like, this is wrong. It seems that you're hiding things or trying to, as you mentioned, Kevin, protect the president from looking bad in any situation.
Well, we criticized Donald Trump when he would very rarely hold press conferences. And in fact, he would hold his press conferences by the loud helicopter when people had to shout over him and he was shouting answers back, which is not really a good place to do that. I mean, you want to be in the press room, answer questions from the press. We criticized him for that. That means it's also fair for us to criticize this administration
and this
for
is
it.
Worse to me. This is worse to me.
Yeah.
You're picking and choosing who's getting into the room and not explaining why. If they are credentialed to cover the White House, they should be at everything.
Also,
everything.
And I agree with you. But also, it seems like a lot of this criticism is more directed not just at the administration or Biden himself, but at the new press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, or is it Jean-Pierre? I'm not exactly how
Karine Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre. She has been taking the criticism, and people have been calling her unprepared, or she doesn't have answers. There are a lot of times
not very good at this.
It doesn't seem like it. Now, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what behind the scenes is happening. If she's not being given the information the previous secretary was, if she's not privy to a lot of stuff, if she's being set up to fail, I don't really know what's going on there. But I would say the press conferences, there's a lot of substance that seems to be lacking now that really wasn't previously. Again, I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Maybe they are putting her in a disadvantage somehow.
Well,
I don't know what that would look like, but maybe there is something happening. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is you're the administration. You have to answer questions.
And it's not just her, because they also have asked Biden's aides,
yeah,
plural, multiple people. I'm just going to read a little bit more of this letter because I do think it's laid out so well. Quote, "The incongruity of these restrictions underscores the belief by many reporters that the administration seeks to limit access to the president by anyone outside of the pool or anyone who might ask a question the administration doesn't want asked. Let us be candid. Our job is not to be liked, nor is it to be concerned about whether or not you like what we ask. Reporters' ability to question the most powerful man in our government shouldn't be discretionary. The administration's continued efforts to limit access to the president cannot be defended. Any notion that space is limited is not supported by the fact that every other president before Biden, including Trump, allowed full access to the very same spaces without making us fill out a request form prior to admittance."
Yeah, I mean, this is indefensible. The freedom of the press is so critical to making sure that we keep checks and balances on the three branches of government. And by restricting that, I can't say this any more simply. Even if you don't like all of the reporters or you don't like whatever spin you think they put on things, they are the only source of information that is not going to be directly from that agency, whether it's the Senate, whether it's the House, whether it's the Supreme Court, whether it's the White House. They are your representatives. They are there to ask questions that benefit us. And again, you might not like them all. You can crap on some of them because you think they're on the wrong team. They are more necessary than almost anything else in our country. And restricting access to the president for no good reason,
there are unacceptable individual reporters who are there on bad faith, I think.
Fine, but let them show themselves.
The collective is not. The entire room as a whole is there to do a good job for the American public. And I would say that if anybody is criticizing this, if there are people out there who are criticizing this, and they should criticize this, I also kind of feel like you can't say, well, journalism's stupid and the media is bad and they're not doing a good job. You can't argue that now if you are arguing against what the Biden administration is doing and limiting it.
Honestly, I want them to argue this now, and I don't care what you've said before about anything else. This sucks. This is not okay to limit coverage of the White House. It is not
Well, no,
okay.
what I'm saying is,
even if you're contradicting something you've said previously, I still think you need to say
no,
this.
no. What I'm saying is recognize that that this is not okay ever, and that the press is actually necessary. So if you're going to criticize the administration, and I would venture to guess there are people right now criticizing the Biden administration for this, rightfully, who also then say the media isn't good and it's fake news.
I'm
and
not
all
worried
that
about
stuff.
them.
Well, I am,
I'm
because
more worried about
fake news.
I'm more worried about the most powerful person in the world shielding himself from things that they don't want to be heard.
Well, I think you could be worried about.
Most likely, it's because you don't want him to look foolish.
Well, maybe, but you could be worried about both things, because if the perception is that all news is fake, well, then you can't now be criticizing this. You need to be consistent with it.
I mean, I agree with you, but to me, that's not. I'm not worried about that in this particular story.
Well, no, but I'm talking about
right.
big picture here.
You're right, but again, in this particular
the big picture
story,
matters, though.
The more you voice this, the better. This should not be.
Yeah, and we're on the same page. I'm just saying, let's look big picture here too.
I think it's a good opportunity that, kind of something like you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And I think if this story bothers you, it's a great time to step back and say, you know what? Those reporters have access that none of us have access. And without them, we don't know what's going on in the White House. And again, I'm not sure how many times you'll see Maggie Haberman's name alongside a Newsmax reporter, but they're represented on this letter. The New York Times, CBS, CNN, Newsmax, Fox, they're all on this letter. And again, to Ranji's point, and then, the same with Wheeler, you guys are on the same page here. It's so important for reporters to have access to an administration, because when an administration like the Biden administration is now being dodgy and obfuscating why they're not letting reporters in, you realize, hey, wait a minute, we all want to know what's going on. And if not for those reporters being there, we won't.
Right.
No.
So don't call it fake news when it's convenient, and then not fake news when it isn't.
I mean, I agree with your point. I just don't think it's relevant to what we have to say now, which is this is not okay, no matter what.
No,
no, you're not disagreeing with that. I just think
things,
bringing anything else into it dilutes it. I don't want to dilute it. This is a very simple point.
Like, they're both important.
This is how democracy has to work. People have to have questions asked of powerful people day in and day out so that we all know what's going on. And when you don't provide answers, it will feed people creating their own answers. So what it looks like to me is they're afraid of old Joe saying stupid stuff. So we don't want that to happen. So we're going to limit things. They're going to make sure that he's not put in a bad position. You're the president. If you can't handle that part of the job, you can't handle the job.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. I mean,
I agree with you.
I would say that
this
about
is not a disagreement.
No, I agree. I just think that when we go the other direction, we're actually just taking focus off the one.
I
thing.
don't. I
But
think,
I do agree with your point.
But it's the whole point, and the large picture is recognize the press is important, and don't say that it's not ever, because it is.
I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand.
An economic anchor for one Southwest Illinois town is up for sale. U.S. Steel announces plans to sell its Granite City Works. KMOX brings you the voices of a worried community.
Without them, this could be a ghost town.
We go in depth weekday mornings from 5 to 10. It's Total Information AM on KMOX.
At Diamonds Direct right now, there's nothing standing in your way of owning the piece of jewelry you've been dreaming of. No down payment and no finance charges for 5 whole years on any purchase. Take the amazing Diamonds Direct price you're used to, divide by 60, and that's your payment. It's a smart way to buy. Keep your money in your pocket and still add that amazing ring, band, or bracelet to your collection. Even the upgrade you've been wanting. 5 years, 0 interest on any purchase. Only at Diamonds Direct. Get all the details at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
The power of precision.
That's the power of a skilled local team who know what they're doing.
The power of accurate estimates.
Estimates, not guesstimates.
The power of certainty.
CertaPro painters. That's the power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold BMW. The new all-electric BMWs are here, and it proves that you don't have to be ugly to be electric. Come and drive one of these, and you'll kick your Tesla to the curb. That's Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
TR Hughes Homes is celebrating the 4th of July in our great country the entire month of July with red, white, and blue savings. Save $4,000 to $10,000 on several brand new, ready now TR Hughes inventory homes in 2 beautiful St. Charles communities, Charlestown Landing in St. Charles City and Riverdale, just 10 minutes from the St. Peter's Deerbergs. And to celebrate even more, TR Hughes will pay up to $4,000 of your closing costs. Big savings with $4,000 to $10,000 off an already great price and $4,000 in closing costs the entire month of July. Visit trhughes.com for details, and God bless America.
Summer is here, and that means grilling season is in full force at Cotton's Ace Hardware. At Cotton's Ace Hardware, you'll receive free assembly, free delivery, free haul away of your old grill, and free fuel for your new grill purchase of $300 or more. That's a $169 savings value. Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. Let Cotton's Ace Hardware make your summer barbecue more enjoyable with that one-of-a-kind grill you've been looking for. Find your nearest St. Louis area location at cottonsace.hardware.com.
Busey Bank, leading the way to your financial wellness. No matter where your financial journey begins, Pathways banking options at Busey are designed with your goals in mind. Busey Bank, building strong financial futures, one family, one street, one city at a time. Busey, your partner in building business and growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and MSD's Project Clear to find your one thing. Don't buy plastic toys for your pet. Instead, look for natural materials like cotton, rope, wood, or bamboo. Pet waste left in our yards can quickly drain into water during rains and contaminate our area streams. MSD Project Clear reminds you to put pet waste in a sealed bag and place in the trash. Join Odyssey and MSD Project Clear. Together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at Zero Res. Well, if you have been waiting for the lowest price of the year, this is it so far. Zero Res is offering a 3-room DGS special starting at just $119. That's 3 rooms pre-treated in Zero Res Clean, which is a 100% guaranteed clean at just $119. Also, $75 off your air duct cleaning. When it comes to your home, stains in your carpets or upholstery can really put a damper on things. With tough stains, it can be easy to think that you need harsh chemicals or detergents to get them out. But I've learned that these detergents always leave behind a soapy residue, which ends up attracting more dirt to the areas. This is why we're called Zero Res, zero residue. That's why I only trust Zero Res to get out tough stains and provide my regular carpet cleaning, which they have within the past couple weeks. Call 314-474-2020 or go to ZeroResSTL.com to book your appointment. That's 314-474-2020.
Trusted information, live and local. From the award-winning KMOX Newsroom.
Mark's back in on KMOX. Chris Raji, Amy Mark scores. Kevin Wheeler with you here, joined as we are on Fridays by Rich Rubino. You can find Rich on Twitter at Rich Rubino POL. He's a political author, historian, obviously presents us with some historical perspective on things that are happening now and how they look compared to some things that have happened in our nation's history. First of all, Rich, thanks for joining us, man. How you doing today?
Thanks. Good. How are you doing?
All right. I mean, it's kind of
awesome.
I mean, and I say it that way just because it's such a weird, awkward, odd time in politics because everything's a fight.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's not just the fight now between two parties, but within parties. And I know that this has to have been the case at times in the past, but for me anyway, Rich, I don't know that I can remember it being as weird as it is now with people with the infighting.
Well, it's interesting. I think that the precedent I would go by is actually 1896. The reason I say 1896 is because the Democratic Party was founded as basically a conservative party. In 1896, the country was in a depression, the Panic of 1893. Grover Cleveland was the president, and Grover Cleveland, a very conservative Democrat, was seemingly unpopular. So accordingly, in 1896, he didn't run for a third term, and William Jennings Bryan, a very liberal former 2-term congressman from Nebraska, won the Democratic presidential nomination. 36 years old. He wanted to get off the gold standard. He wanted more social services. So Grover Cleveland did not support his own party's nominee that year and supported John M. Palmer, a 79-year-old senator from Illinois, running on the National Democratic Party. And then 4 years later, William Jennings Bryan gets a nomination again. The 1904, he gets a nomination. I mean, he does not get the nomination. He does not support his own party's nominee. So that is probably the precedent. The other reason I say it's a precedent is he changed the dynamic part, the foundational ideology of his party, the way Donald Trump did on trade, on foreign intervention overseas, and on immigration reform. He changed the position of basically every Republican president from Dwight Eisenhower to George W. Bush. Now it's a matter of whether you change your ideology, other Republicans, or you essentially stay on with that old ideology like folks like Mitch McConnell are doing, for example. So there certainly is precedent for that. And that is probably the one that I would probably say is probably the closest parallel historically to what's going on contemporaneously.
Rich, and we look back at political parties over United States history. Parties evolve. They also split apart and dissolve and turn into other parties. As we look at the intra-fighting in the GOP right now, do you see this as an evolution of the Republican Party or the potential seeds for a split in the Republican Party where we see it somehow, I don't know if it would take a different name, but or some iteration that is unrecognizable from the past?
Other countries, there's always, whenever a third party has tried to pop up or any sort of a party, usually it'll come for one or two elections. And then once there's a dynamic leader, Theodore Roosevelt, for example, the Progressive Party in 1912, and once Theodore Roosevelt was off the scene, the party gradually dissipated. Ross Perot in the Reform Party, once Perot was off the scene, the party gradually dissipated. The American system has done everything possible to make it so hard, to make it so many hoops for a third party to essentially go through. Plus, I think that most Republicans, the Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy wing, Kevin McCarthy, someone, very much of an established Republican, they are essentially placating the Trump wing of the party. They're not trying to essentially distance themselves from that wing. What Donald Trump has done is he's essentially brought the Republican Party towards him. You are now considered a rhino or Republican in name only if you essentially take a position that is opposite of Donald Trump. If, for example, you support foreign intervention overseas, if you support a pathway to citizenship for migrant aliens, if you are somebody who supports free trade, those used to be Republican positions. Now you're seeing Republicans essentially go over to Donald Trump. Newt Gingrich, for example, when he was in Congress in 1994, 1995, he was one of the main Congress. He basically, as a minority whip from the congressman from Georgia, he helped to get NAFTA through the United States Congress. Now, when Donald Trump gets elected president, he says essentially, I now agree with Donald Trump's position on trade. So he's come to where Donald Trump is, and that's where I think the Republican Party is going. That's why I don't think that there's going to be a viable third party coming out of the Trump movement.
We were just discussing the press corps letter to the Biden administration about more access and demanding more access and not shutting certain people out. Where does this administration rank in terms of presidential access to the press?
Well, I think generally I would say it's just pretty much an establishment position. Just the fact that they do actually hold press conferences. If you remember the former president, they actually stopped doing that. It just generally it's bad public relations though for the press to kind of come over there for 68 members to go and to say, we want more access. But that being said, from a political standpoint, I guess anytime you're against the press or anytime, I don't think it's not necessarily a negative thing. The American people have always had there are two groups of people that the American people have always had a certain antipathy toward. Certainly Hollywood. I think the media would certainly be another one, and that's certainly academics as well. So it's not necessarily going to hurt them politically, but just certainly from a First Amendment standpoint, I think that the Biden administration will probably do everything they possibly can to at least make the appearance that they are doing everything possible to allow as much access as possible. And just based on the precedent, based on this president versus the former president, they can certainly say, look what we're doing versus what the press secretary was doing in the previous administration.
Rich, always appreciate the perspective. I would never have known that we had to go back to just before 1900 to get comparable infighting, but that's why we have you on. We appreciate the perspective. We'll talk to you soon.
Donald Trump and William Jennings Bryan. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
It's Rich Rubino, at Rich Rubino, POL on Twitter, political author, obviously historian as well. Books like The Political Bible of Humorous Quotations from American Politics. Stick around. We got a lot more coming your way here on the show on KMOX.
Did you hear what Dave Glover said?
You guys ever just sometimes stop and think, like, just authority? I know that we grow up with it, and our parents and the cops and our teachers and the Supreme Court and the president and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not an anarchist. I'm just saying that sometimes it just feels weird, like, why is this the way things are? And why are you guys the boss of me? Where would you go if you're just like, I don't want to live under your rules? I don't want to have to follow what you guys say anymore. Is there even an option for that?
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 2 on KMOX.
Attention men. Lately, you've been hearing a lot about wave therapy as a new and revolutionary cure for erectile dysfunction. But did you know the St. Louis Men's Clinic has provided wave therapy since 2017? Wave therapy is a non-invasive, pain-free treatment for ED, but it's not new, nor does it cure ED. In fact, if you've had prostate cancer, wave therapy is not a solution. So before spending too much for a treatment that may not work, call the experienced and knowledgeable staff at the St. Louis Men's Clinic. Their doctors will discuss the available treatment options and develop a customized plan just for you. Get the facts on wave therapy and the treatments for erectile dysfunction. Call the St. Louis Men's Clinic today and schedule a $25 wave therapy session and private consultation. Yeah, that's $25. Call the St. Louis Men's Clinic at 314-828-2600 or visit stlmensclinic.com. Locally owned and operated and a proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory services offered through All Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuity products offered through Stephen All, Missouri license 8039738.
Hey, it's Bo for Beast Plumbing. If you are in need of a new garbage disposal, the best one on the market today is the Evo Pro 1100 XL garbage disposal. Beast Plumbing has a deal, $75 off when you get that installed in the month of July. The business of Beast Plumbing is growing by leaps and bounds. They are looking for customer service representatives and office managers. If you're interested, get a hold of Beast Plumbing right away at 314-698-1154 or beastplumbing.com. That's BEIS plumbing.com. Tell them Bo sent you.
At 12:30, it's 92 degrees downtown at the Arch. Summer travel is underway across the globe, but a full recovery from 2 years of coronavirus could last as long as the pandemic itself. Interviews by the Associated Press in 11 countries this month show the most passionate travelers are thronging to locales like the French Riviera, Amsterdam, and the American Midwest. But even as safety restrictions fall, places like Israel, India, and Rome are reporting only fractions of the record-setting tourism of 2019. The global shortage of computer chips forced General Motors to build 95,000 vehicles without certain components during the second quarter. The Detroit automaker says in a regulatory filing that most of the incomplete vehicles were built in June and that it expects most of them to be finished and sold to dealers before the end of the year. Emergency vehicles to watch out for, 6440 going east at McCausland. A crash on 141 north past Clayworth Drive. The two right lanes are closed. And a stall 55 north past Rivas Barracks on the right shoulder. Dave Murray's forecast overnight tonight. Partly cloudy, more humid, few scattered storms with a low 72. And then tomorrow, a few scattered showers and storms, still humid with a high of 88 degrees. Right now, downtown at the Arch, we've got some sun, and it's 92. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. With prices on everything going up fast, now is the time to buy. Edwards Carpet's having our 4th of July sale now through July 10th, and you'll pay no tax. Get 50-ounce carpets guaranteed for 15 and 20 years, completely installed with pad for only $449 to $499 a square foot, and we move the furniture and pull up your old carpet free. 12 months interest-free financing, and you'll pay no tax. Edwards Carpet, Ellisville, De Pere, and St. Charles.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Join me Monday mornings at 9:50 for our new feature, 5 Minutes with Number 5. And you know who that is? Albert Pujols. 5 Minutes with Number 5. Mondays at 9:50 a.m. on the Voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
The pitch by Waino.
Albert is hit high and deep. A home run for Harrison Bader. Yadier Molina has homered.
Double play.
It's a big fly for Albert Pujols. A home run in the first inning for Goldie.
This is the Redbirds Report.
All right, so Cardinals are back at it tonight, opening up a series in Philadelphia. 5:05 first pitch tonight. That means a 4:10 pregame show. It'll be Miles Michaelis for the Cardinals, Bailey Falter, young pitcher for the Phillies, going at it tonight. So we talked, this is a little bit off the regular, like, here's what's going on with the Cardinals thing, but, having John Jay in studio earlier and kind of flashing back to the Memphis Mafia and the impact that he and Alan Craig and Daniel Descalso and David Freese and eventually Matt Adams was kind of in that group. Those guys, the impact those guys had on the 2011 team, kind of reminding me of what's happening with the young guys now. And I'm not saying this means a World Series is coming. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that was a team that was loaded with veteran stars, right? You had, Waino was hurt that year, but you had Yadier Molina in his prime, Albert Pujols in his prime, Lance Berkman's on that team. It was a loaded veteran team, but they don't win the World Series without the young dudes and their contribution. I mean, those guys came up big in the regular season. They came up big in the postseason. And right now, this current team, I don't want to say is being saved by the young guys, but they've been boosted by the young guys. Without Brendan Donovan being as good as he's been, or Juan Yepes, or Nolan Gorman, or, Liberatore filling in here and there, without the younger dudes, they'd be in trouble right now.
And even Ryan Helsley, I mean, I know he's 27 or something.
Years,
he's been a little bit, but still a guy who's a contributor. And I know he gave up the lead the other day, but hell, guy's been great up until the other night against Miami. So, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to have that. It very rarely do you have a team that is only one thing, that is only laden with veterans or only laden with young guys, and then they go on to win the whole thing. It doesn't, I mean, you can get through a lot of the season that way. I mean, for example, the Florida Marlins, when they did it in 2003, that was a pretty young team. That's a highly unusual thing to have happen. It's not like they didn't have veteran presence too, because they did, but it's just about having a good mix. You want the veteran players, you want to have some youth. And I do think that sometimes it's very difficult to quantify it, but sometimes just having that mix of all players coming from different places, different ages, I think it helps in the clubhouse. I think it's a big deal to have that, the just not a conflict. I don't mean conflict, but people coming from different areas and different parts of their life. And I think that creates a good energy, clubhouse environment. Yeah, absolutely. The young players can bring a lot of energy to a team. Again, you can't quantify just how much that affects play or just how, I don't know if it necessarily makes you win, but it sure does not hurt.
How much do you think the Cardinals' schedule, which has basically been a compressed schedule, when you look at the rainouts that they had and just the way things were structured? Derek Gould points out that going into yesterday's day off, the team had played 74 games in 77 days. Yep. I mean, that is wear and tear on your team, on your bullpen. The Cardinals have thrown 621 and 2/3 innings in the past 72 days, which is 30 more innings than the next NL club.
Yeah. I think that's a problem for the Cardinals. I think it's everybody too, because spring training started late. So everything has been compressed into a smaller amount of time. Like the season started a week late. So now that's when you're looking at, I don't know for sure that the second half gets quote unquote more normal, but I'm sure it won't be totally normal because they got to fit in those games in various spots. And then you throw in rainouts here and there and a couple of double headers and all of that. It's like the third straight year where baseball's not normal, where you're carrying a little bit more of the workload. And then you throw on the fact that they didn't get the full spring training.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning of the year, you had pitchers that were still building up to get to the normal innings load that they could carry, the normal pitch count that they could reach. And it's been an ongoing process and again, the Cardinals are not alone. We just see it with them because we watch them every day. But it's happening to teams all over Major League Baseball, the same dynamic. And it's going to be a little bit of whack-a-mole throughout the course of the year where like something's going to pop up and you got to replace a guy. And then another guy's going to go down and you got to replace a guy. And I'm speaking mostly of pitching. But yeah, I think there's no question the schedule has been a difficult one to navigate when you consider that you haven't had Jack Flaherty in a spot that you were expecting him to fill, that the guys that you have, several spots that have not been filled by people giving you quality depth. And I mean, by like quality depth, I mean getting into the 6th and 7th inning on a regular basis.
And we've talked about this so much, but just too much stress on the bullpen. Fine for now. You need to get more length out of the starters here soon,
and
like
you're
very,
it from
very
two
soon.
guys regularly.
Right.
I mean, Waino and Michaelis are pretty much that every time out.
Yeah, and because it's going to pay off. I mean, as often as you can give that bullpen some rest, it's going to pay off when you get into the later part of September. So they've got this road trip now, and it's a difficult road trip. You got Philly, you have Atlanta. You're going to play a lot of games against the Phillies here over the next couple of weeks. You've got the 3-game series here. Then you've got 4 games coming back home at Busch Stadium starting on July 8th. That's a lot of games against one team within the course of a week and a half. But you got this road trip. You play in Philly. You play in Atlanta. Then you come back home for your longest homestand of the season. They got a 10-game homestand that's coming up here starting, as I mentioned, on the 8th. Also going to be kind of tough. I mean, you've got the Phillies, you have the Dodgers, and then you get a little bit of a break with Cincinnati, and they are not very good. And that's a team the Cardinals have handled pretty well so far this year. They're 4-2 against the Reds. It's a difficult schedule. It's nice to get the homestand, but you're also kind of getting that homestand when it's really going to get hot.
Yeah.
So that's not the best, but it's still the comfort of being home's a good thing. It's rarely bad.
Yeah. All right. Different twist for the rest of the segment on the Cardinals topic. We actually talked about this after we had John Jay in studio earlier. But John Jay had a really good, long major league career.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 12-year major league career. When he broke in 2011, the established veterans on the Cardinals were Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina, and Adam Wainwright. Now, again, Waino had Tommy John that year, so he wasn't active, but he was still on the team, one of the leaders of the team. John Jay, again, had a 12-year major league career. He's done, and they're still going. They're still
so funny.
going. That's insane.
Yeah. It really, that's...
And
especially knowing what Wainwright went through when we talked to him
all those
about
years.
it.
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago. Dude thought he was done.
Like he quit in his head. He quit baseball.
Yeah, thought he was finished. And now he's one of your most effective pitchers. The fact that he's been doing this now for the last few years is truly remarkable, especially, and it's not just about the age. It's about where he was just a few years ago. Because usually when pitchers get there, they're finished.
Well, and that's why it's so impressive. And I think just for context, because you get used to having Wainwright and Molina around. You're like, well, of course they're around.
Yeah.
But, Wheeler, you were talking about you playing baseball, being a great baseball player. You get to Miami and you see even like the next level.
Amy just called you a great baseball player.
I thought I was. And then I got there and it was like, man, I'm not that good.
I had a friend who he was a great baseball player. He gets to Arizona State and he realizes there's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And then those guys are going to Major League Baseball and you see how hard it is to get to the big leagues and then how hard it is to stay in the big leagues. And Waino, Molina, Pujols, they're just going like even within Major League Baseball, it's there that next level.
Yeah, and the longevity, like just when you again looking at the 2011 team, those guys weren't quote unquote young then. Yadi was like, what was he, almost 30? He was like 28, 29 years old in 2011. Albert was 30.
Yeah, so
I mean,
he's
like
38 now, right?
He's 38 or 39. But either way, I mean, the point
Yeah,
is he
it's
was
a long time.
He had been in the big leagues for what, 6 or 7 years by that point.
Yeah.
And the same thing, Waino had been up since 2006, and obviously Albert since the early 2000s. Like those guys were not just like really good; they had been around a bit, and they're still around. That's just crazy.
That's, I mean, it really
and of course,
is.
Two of them are Hall of Famers, like Major League Hall of Famers.
Right.
All three are Cardinals Hall of Famers. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's going to happen, but if Waino goes another year, he might have the numbers that could get him conversation for Cooperstown.
He could. He's not going to be as automatic as the other two guys.
He's going to be a guy that they have to examine and you're going to argue about and all that.
Well, and I'll say this too about Yadier Molina, because that was for a while and not too long ago, the case for him to be a Hall of Famer outside of St. Louis. And of course, we here all believe he should be. And I don't think there's any pushback against that here locally, but nationally, you'd hear from a few people who thought, I don't know, it's kind of borderline. But several years later, 5, 6, I mean, like, I think right now at this point, it's undeniable. He's in. I don't know if he gets in right away, but he's
ballot,
in. I think that debate about whether or not he should be a Hall of Famer is over.
Going back to, so this would have been 2019. My very last show on another radio station, we had Jeff Passan on, and that's what we were arguing about.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff and I had
remember
really good
that.
And Jeff and I, we get along really well. Like, I've known him for a long time.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah. So we can argue and not hate each other. And we were really having a great argument. And at the end, he's like, I don't know, I might have to rethink it. And then I believe recently basically said, I've changed, my position has changed. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happened in that, in part because
the longevity is part of it. The longevity
matters, right.
of being productive, still good at your job.
Yes.
This many years later, I
mean,
think
Yadi was an all-star last year at the age of 38.
Right. So if you had the conversation 6, 7 years ago, there was a fairly loud chorus of people who were arguing against his Hall of Fame candidacy. I think that's all gone now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I honestly, I mean, speaking of being on different radio stations, I'm surprised NPR hired you in the first place because you just don't have that timbre and tone for an NPR reporter.
You know what?
You're a little intense.
But they don't like yelling?
No,
Yeah.
dude. In fact, there's somebody, I don't know who it is, but I've listened, and it's a reporter, and she like is whispering. And I'm like, would you please speak up?
So
I can't hear
do
you.
they talk a lot golf? Is that like the
They're
Jim
so
Nance?
they're just
Is it
very
just the Jim
soft-spoken.
Nance like
No,
lined
it's
up on the 14th?
they're a little
fairway?
bit softer and everything is just very calm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not me.
This is I know that's why
The
I think
G7 summit.
Maybe.
we should have him on NPR. Speaking of being older, I think it was Guy Carbonneau when he was with the Dallas Stars.
I thought you were talking about you. Anyway.
Wow.
So, well, no, because we
I know. I am
We
an
discovered
old-
she's 78 years old.
I am. I'm a 78-year-old person. But anyway, Guy Carbonneau, they asked him one time, because he had a long career, he's in the NHL Hall of Fame, when he knew it was time to retire. And he said it was when one of his line mates asked if he could go on a date with his daughter. And he's,
Yes.
By the way,
Yes.
the answer to that is always no.
Yeah, no. It's better than a teammate's wife.
I know what you're like. You're not going near my daughter. No, that's
Yeah.
always a no.
yeah.
I will be respectful, sir.
I feel like
I will-
Ranji's used that
I
line
will have her
before.
home by 10 o'clock tomorrow, but it'll be 10.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey with a question facing homeowners. Would you sell your current home if you found your dream home? Well, of course you would. And that's why you need to call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has a program that eliminates the worry of selling your current home and having to find your next home with inventory being so low. Gloria is expert at finding listed and unlisted homes that match your specific criteria. Let Gloria know exactly what you're looking for, and she'll find your dream home in the neighborhood of your choice. Once Gloria finds a homeowner who may consider a sale but hasn't put it on the market yet, Gloria will inspect that home, set up a private no obligation showing, and negotiate on your behalf at no charge if you want to make an offer. If your offer is accepted, Gloria Lou will also help you sell your existing home. Learn more by calling Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com.
This Independence Day, the Boston Pops Fireworks Spectacular is back in Boston, presented by Bloomberg and Eaton Vance. Join conductor Keith Lockhart with special appearances by Shaka Khan, Javier Colon, and Heather Headley. Watch and listen Monday, July 4th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Bloomberg Television, Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg.com, Bloomberg Quick Take, and the Bloomberg Business app.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Park Provence, an assisted living and skilled nursing memory care community, understands the challenges when caring for a loved one with dementia or other forms of memory loss. You're not alone. Park Provence is a trusted expert in memory care and recently recognized as a best memory care community by U.S. News and World Reports. Call 314-452-5200 or to learn more, parkprovence.com. That's P-A-R-C Provence.com.
At Neovitin, our goal is to create safe, dependable multivitamins to support your everyday nutrition when you need it most. That's why Dr. Abicki formulated Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin with 20 daily ingredients, including B vitamins for energy support, vitamin C for immune support, and our 4-ingredient proprietary blend that you won't find in any other multivitamin. With a 4.8 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality nutritional support with Neovitin. And as always, a portion of the proceeds from the sale of Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin are donated to the Rubicki Foundation to support pancreatic cancer research. That's nutritional support you can feel good about. Support your best life today with Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin, available at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, select independent pharmacies, and online with our easy-to-use monthly subscription at neovitin.com. That's Neovitin.com, neovitin.com.
Listen right here this weekend to Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chatsky, presented by Edelman Financial Engines. Your hosts and their guests will explore how our financial decisions shape our everyday lives. For airtimes, visit everydaywealth.com.
You have more control over how much you pay in taxes when you retire than at any other time in your life. Don't miss Your Retirement Professors, Saturday afternoons at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
Learn to swim this summer and stay cool with Swim On Foundation through group and private lessons. Schedule today. For information, go to swimonfoundation.org. The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Dude, I'm here for the show. What show?
St. Louis, this is your show.
The show.
The show on KMOX.
12:51 on the show. Amy, Chris, and Kevin hanging out with you here. Ranji just knocked Amy's phone to the floor.
I know, it was
on
rude.
purpose.
Well, because she threw my headphones on the floor.
I set his headphones on the floor.
Did you
Set
hear
them on the floor?
I just want to point out that Amy was
I feel
eating.
like a dad here. I'm like, you guys, listen, don't make me pull this car over.
Amy was eating during the interview we did.
With Rich?
Yeah, a couple of segments ago.
I don't think like eating through the
She
interview.
was eating during
like
the interview.
Finishing like
No, she would
a chip or something
No.
as we were coming back.
No, she would ask her question. She'd turn her microphone off and start chewing on chips or whatever they are.
I
over
don't see a problem with this.
I was really hungry, you guys. I'm
Yeah.
so hungry. And I thought I'm going to pass out. But I love my team so much. And I love this show so
Team
much
player.
that I thought I will do anything to continue. And so I was eating some chips.
Yeah. I see no issue with this.
Okay.
You've never done that. You've never
not in the middle of an interview
when somebody
because I might choke on my chicken wings that I'm eating.
Oh my God. I was just literally 10 minutes ago. Why the backstory on that is this. I was just telling Ron a story. This is from a long time ago. It's probably a solid 15.
It sounded familiar when you told it to me.
Yeah, it's 15, 16 years ago. But there was a guy who's since passed away, a guy named Chet Kopic, who was a really big media personality in Chicago and in New York for a while. So when you were a TV guy, you were making money and you're a huge star. He was basically Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
But a sports version of Ron Burgundy and a little bit jerkier than Ron Burgundy. But big guy, 6'8", probably a solid 280, like a big man.
Yeah.
Well, later in his career, he was doing fill-in radio work at the network that I was at, and he was doing a segment and apparently eating chicken wings during the segment.
Wow.
I don't remember. I don't remember if it was an interview or if it was a caller that was on the air when he was eating the chicken wing, but he choked on the chicken wing.
Like on the bone of the chicken wing?
It went
Who
in there.
knows?
Yes. Or something. He choked somehow while eating a chicken wing live on national radio. And his producer ran in there and gave him the Heimlich maneuver.
No.
And I'm telling you right now that if there had been any other producer there at the time, the guy's name was Paul. Paul was a big weightlifter, huge guy.
Mhm.
College, I believe, played college football. Big dude. If it had been anybody else, Chet might have died from choking right there on the air. And I'm not even kidding. It was bad.
So
And this happened on the air because the dummy's eating a chicken wing while he's talking.
Dude.
okay.
That's way worse
Was
than-
it a solo show?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
was
Yeah.
the air time, what was broadcasting at that moment?
You
was
heard him
just-
choking. No, I'm
That's not
dead,
funny.
I'm dead serious.
Not funny.
No, I'm dead serious. It was people were some of it, one of the people, employees were listening and they're like, what is happening? You could hear the producer come busting in the room and you could hear the whole process of the Heimlich thing happening. I mean, it was serious, no joke.
Dude, that
Wow,
guy.
that's really scary.
But also, lesson, don't eat while you're in the middle of a segment, especially if you're a solo host.
Don't eat
If you're-
chicken wings.
If you're one of 3 people in a studio and you have a chip during a segment, you're fine.
Hey, rest in peace.
But don't eat, chicken wings.
He didn't die from the chicken.
No.
It was
He
a car
passed
wreck.
away a few years ago.
It was a car wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died in a car
And
wreck.
just let me say that if any 3 of you start choking, I won't be like that producer. You're gone.
Well, thanks a lot, Dave.
I won't be jumping in to
Thanks
give
a
you
lot,
the
Dave.
Heimlich.
Yeah, I appreciate
That's really
it.
great, Dave. Yeah, cool.
Based on that information, you're
Well,
on your own too, buddy.
Yeah. Well, who's gonna push? Who's gonna push the buttons?
No,
Kevin can do it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
easy.
We'll just drag you out of the way.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
Just so you guys know, I got you. I
Thank
know
you.
Drew's over there.
Thank you.
I got you guys.
Drew will take care of us.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
yeah.
good guy.
I wouldn't
Also,
trust Drew.
Drew's pretty strong.
Yeah, he's a
True
strong
question.
man.
Did you ever learn how to do the Heimlich or CPR correctly?
I did it once. I didn't get taught how to do it, but I watched it enough, and I think I was successful because
Oh, you did
he
do it?
lived. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to
Oh,
do
you
it
actually
once.
got to do it?
Yeah,
Wow.
Wait,
that's scary.
CPR or Heimlich?
the Heimlich.
Yeah.
Really?
I think I must have done it right because it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lady saved my wife in the airport a few years ago.
Damn, really?
She choked in the airport, and the lady just was like, boop.
Are you serious? Wow. I don't know how to do those things. I mean, I've
I
seen them
wasn't
in
there,
movies.
by the way. She was traveling alone,
Yeah.
but
I know if you're choking yourself, this is honest to goodness, you're supposed to
Lean against a
chair
or
fall
something.
on the back of
Yeah.
a chair. So Charlie and I had a guy in to teach us how to use a defibrillator, because those.
wow. Yeah.
And so the guy was there, and Charlie and I both had our defibrillators that talk you through the process. Well, I really had a hard time getting the stickers off of the things. And it's just like when you can't open a plastic bag at the grocery store and the guy's like, you got to hurry, you got to get the stickers off. And I'm like, I can't. And Charlie's already saving the guy. The box is talking to him. And the EMT we had said, well, Amy, your guy died while you were trying
Good
to get
Lord.
the stickers off.
It was a great Onion headline. ER doctor excitedly tells wife he got to use the shock paddle thing today.
Classic 107.3 and 96.3 HD2 St. Louis is seeking a full-time morning host. Do you have a passion for classical music and the arts? Are you an excellent broadcaster with strong social media skills? Do you like conducting interviews, making public appearances, and have a vast knowledge of classical music? Then this could be what you're looking for. For more information or to apply, visit classic1073.org/careers or email careers@classic1073.org.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
Hey, KMOX listeners, Roger Wigginton here at Don Rogers Limited, 6727 West Main in Belleville. Hey guys, I don't want you to think I forget about you, but we have an incredible men's department as well as our ladies. It's updated traditional. We carry great fitting sportswear, suits, sport coats, an entire selection. All of our shirts are the Untucked styles. They come in wonderful, lightweight cottons, fun novelties, same way with our knits. They all have the wicking properties. Our knits are $49. Our wovens are $59. Also, the best fitting jean you will ever wear comes from Grand River. You've never heard of it because they only sell the specialty stores, but our jeans fits. Suits, sport coats, accessories, dress shirts, you name it, we've got it. And of course, you always park at the door, you walk in, and you get that personal service, something that you do not get anywhere else. Don't forget, we're open Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 4. Stop in, we'd love to see you. And as always, thank you so much for listening to our commercial.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
This is KMOX, the trusted voice of St. Louis.
An Odyssey station. We're all on this planet together. So join Odyssey and MSD's Project Clear to find your one thing. Don't buy plastic toys for your pet. Instead, look for natural materials like cotton, rope, wood, or bamboo. Pet waste left in our yards can quickly drain into water during rains and contaminate our area streams. MSD Project Clear reminds you to put pet waste in a sealed bag and place in the trash. Join Odyssey and MSD Project Clear. Together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
St. Louis bi-state summers are hot, humid, and can be deadly. Heat can even fry an egg on a sidewalk. For many seniors and the disabled, money goes to rent, medicine, and groceries, often with nothing left to pay utility bills. Please help seniors keep the air on, and let's check on elderly neighbors. CoolDownSt.Louis.org can also help Missouri and Illinois needy neighbors with utility bills. Get help, give help at CoolDownSt.Louis.org.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 1 o'clock, it's a partly cloudy sky, 93 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. Closing arguments are underway in the trial of DeJuan Ferguson, the father accused of killing his 9-year-old disabled son in 2003. The prosecution pushing for first-degree murder.
Every time he didn't give him his medication, every time he didn't bother to feed him, he knew what he was doing. He didn't do it. That is a deliberate choice he made because Christian was an inconvenience he didn't want to be bothered with.
And Ferguson's defense argues,
it almost sounded like we were here to decide whether or not DeJuan Ferguson was a good parent or not. And that's not a murder trial.
Christian Ferguson disappeared in June 2003. His father claimed his SUV had been carjacked with his son still inside. People may bump into travel woes over the holiday weekend, including flight delays and cancellations. More than 20,000 flights have been delayed this week so far. CBS News senior travel advisor Peter Greenberg says connections are a big issue.
It's not just the nonstop flights. It's the flights that go through hubs or through secondary markets. If one of those flights is late, then you don't make your connecting flight because there's no other plane to put you on because the next flights are already full. So it's a cascading effect.
Greenberg says that mid-September is when travel will likely become much easier after the usual seasonal drop-off in the number of people flying. Inflation and supply chain issues are causing butcher shops like Harrell's Market and Imperial to raise prices on meat.
Anything that we don't really produce here, 1 week we get it, 1 week we don't,
So is 4th of July grilling season more expensive this year than past years?
Yes, absolutely.
Butcher Alex Sider says that top quality meats are $1 more per pound compared to last year's 4th. Ted Drew's has 2 locations, one on Chippewa, one on Grand, but the one on Grand has not opened for the season yet. Travis Dillon's the owner of Ted Drew's.
The jobs are available for college kids as soon as they come out. It looked like we were going to get 10 or 12, and we only saw about 2 or 3 employees. So that made it tough for us to open the second store.
Dillon says there are a lot of theories about why, including paid summer internships. After the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe versus Wade, same-sex couples are updating their legal status.
Now that the constitutional right to abortion has been taken away, there are fears gay marriage may be next.
People are, effectively freaking out.
Lawyer Sidney Duncan's office in Birmingham, Alabama has been flooded with emails and phone calls from same-sex couples. Justice Clarence Thomas called on his colleagues to reconsider cases that allowed same-sex marriage, gay sex, and contraception. It
puts them in the target of what's to come next.
Duncan says clients want to be prepared.
They are trying to shore up their rights by wills and powers of attorney and advanced healthcare directives.
The state of Alabama is going to court, saying the decision giving states the power to restrict abortion means states should also be able to ban medical treatments for transgender youth. I'm Ed Donahue.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, Goodell back in court.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell in the hot seat, or deciding whether 3 black coaches suing the NFL for race discrimination are justified. That's the argument before a Manhattan federal judge. A lawyer for former Dolphins coach Brian Flores and 2 others wants to depose Goodell about his own biases. The lawyer says compelling the suit to go to arbitration means Goodell would end up deciding the case. Joan Doniger, Bloomberg Radio.
And the Dow from Stifel is up 118 points. We've got a crash on 170 south of Brentwood Boulevard. The 2 left lanes are closed. Emergency vehicle 64 east to McCausland. Stalled vehicle I-170 south before Ladue. That's on the right shoulder.
Plenty of sunshine with us on this Friday afternoon. I have to call it hot, 95 degrees. It's slightly more humid than yesterday, but boy, by our standards, it's not too bad. We'll keep an eye out for a pop afternoon thunderstorm, but they're going to be hard to find. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Evening temperatures drop out of the 90s into the upper 80s. Keep an eye out for a couple of thunderstorms, 72 for the low. On Saturday, still offering to bring the best chance for some wet weather. Not all day, though. A mix of clouds and sunshine with scattered showers and thunderstorms, some with heavy downpours of rain anytime Saturday, but especially during the afternoon into the early evening, 88. On Sunday, partly sunny skies, couple of thunderstorms here and there. 88 degrees, we watch the sky. Then on Monday for the holiday, it's hot and humid. And again, a couple of thunderstorms around 92. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's 93 in Florissant, 92 in St. Peters, 93 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
All right, 105 on the show on KMOX. Just want to say, obviously, Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, of course, Kevin Wheeler with you here, heading into 4th of July weekend. I was going to say, have you caught your breath yet, Amy? Because you came flying in here like 10 seconds ago.
I did.
Like
because
you had run across the building.
I didn't realize what time it was. I was
Oh.
on, down the hallway.
But you're not out of breath at all.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
no.
you're a runner, obviously. And I said that's one of the benefits of being a long distance runner is that a little run like that is not going to have you out of breath.
But she came in and she mocked us by pretending like she was out of breath.
Yeah, she
like,
was
oh,
like-
shut up.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
Wheeler.
I made it.
It's like, it'd be like Shaq acting like it was tough to dunk the ball. Like, oh,
yeah, you're 7 feet
oh,
tall,
I'm so
buddy.
sorry.
But do you know what makes me feel really out of breath is climbing the stairs to my apartment. It doesn't matter how fit you are, how many marathons you run. You go up a couple flights of stairs, I'm on the phone, I'm like, hold on, I can't breathe. I'm out of breath.
Yeah, but it's generally a rule in radio. Like it's an old timey rule.
Do not run to the
Don't
microphone.
run to the microphone because by the time you get there,
Yeah.
it's gonna. It takes a while. And we were describing the
Like that.
times. Like it was during my first stint at KMOX. I was doing sports updates in the afternoon, so it was the Paul Harris show, and it was Paul, Carol, Daniel, and me. We were doing a little group thing, and I'm like off in the sports office, and I just forgot what time it was. Kind of like what you were talking about, Amy.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I'm going to run real fast in there because I don't want to be late because it was already. And I just basically coughed the entire 2-minute sportscast. I was like, and the Cardinals tonight.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. It was horrible.
Really?
It was horrible.
I
And
did
from
that too.
Point on, I decided I will be late as however late I need to be to not do that.
I was at a pregame show. I was doing a pregame show for the Sox.
Like your decision was just to be late.
Well, if I
Yeah. No, that's the only way to handle it.
Well, no. You want to? I started setting an alarm so I wouldn't do that. But if I were late, it's better to like just have music play for 20 seconds than for me to do what I did for 2 minutes, coughing and hacking and sounding like a moron.
We used to do these pregame shows from the ball. There's a place called the Patio Bar at U.S. Cellular, now Guaranteed Rate Field, Comiskey Park, whatever you want to call it. Sox Park. And we used to do Friday pre and post game shows from this bar, and they start at 6:30. The show starts at 6:30, and it was 6:20, 9:50, and I am down the concourse, like not the concourse, but the tunnel in the back, down the way, talking to somebody, and they're like, "What time is it?" And I go, "Oh no!" I ran, and I got there, and I'm like, we had like a minute-long billboard of ads, so I got like 10 seconds to breathe. It wasn't good. So, and I actually did that today before the show started. I'm out there. I'm on my laptop. I'm in a room by myself because you guys don't let me sit in the office with you. So I'm doing stuff on the laptop, and I look up, and it's like 10:03. I'm like, oh, I should probably go in there. Nobody came to get me though.
Didn't really know you were gone.
Yeah, I think
I
there was a.
I said, do you think Ranji even knows we have a show?
Yeah, it's right now.
I expressed faith in him.
You did.
I said, yeah, he knows. He'll be here.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Kevin.
And if not, the two of us can carry it.
Thanks. Yeah,
Easily.
he'll be fine.
Probably be better.
Old lady over here.
Oh my God.
You're out of our demographic.
So the
You're right.
You are so out of our demo.
Amazing. I didn't even think about that.
Oh.
I am outside the key demo.
well, honestly,
She's way older than 65.
For the two of us, that you're just too smart for the demo.
Aw.
For us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Look how long it took you to get that.
See, that's what we're talking about.
You made the point. I made the point I was making. Yeah,
No.
absolutely. So Mike Claiborne's going to join us at 1:30. We'll do our regular Friday visit with him and talk a bit about the Cards and the Phillies tonight. Yesterday I brought up the flying cruise ship.
Yes,
was
you
it
did.
yesterday,
Yes.
right?
Which sounds horrible.
And you guys both expressed like you don't like the idea of a regular cruise ship. You probably don't like the idea of a flying cruise ship. And then I see the 60-person brawl on a cruise ship. And I know that both of you said the thing you don't like about the cruise idea is that you're trapped.
You're stuck.
How'd you like to be trapped and
when
have
there's a
all
brawl?
of that nonsense going on? 60 people throwing haymakers and they went up and down. Like they started at the 5th level and they like went all the way down to the 1st level. The fight was like everywhere. It lasted like a half an hour.
Hey, Kevin, what started the fight?
A threesome.
Oh.
Wait, what?
A threesome gone bad. Apparently, some folks were pretty upset that there was a threesome that happened between 3 of the.
Wait
a
they
minute.
upset that the threesome happened or that they weren't invited?
Yeah,
I think
that's
it
what
was
I was
that-
thinking.
No, I think it was that it happened. Like somebody was mad at the people that were involved in it, and then the two of the dudes, I think it was 2 dudes, started fighting, and then everybody else decided, well, we're fighting too.
It was just,
This all happened on a cruise?
This happened on a
it was
cruise
just a
ship.
game of golf. I don't know why they were so upset.
Oh, Amy, you are just the worst. And she's so proud of it.
Yeah, that's
Look
great.
at her.
But like,
Yeah.
what would make like two people start fighting over something? That's a thing. It's bad.
Yeah.
What would make everybody else jump in?
Like, why did 60 people care about this threesome?
Well, I mean, I guess it's like one person hit my friend, so now I got to hit their friend.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes like it's like a baseball fight. It's like, well, why? There's 2 people mad at each other, but everybody's got to start pushing and shoving.
Which we need to talk about baseball fights for a second.
Sure.
I know people love the baseball brawl, and it is entertaining. I have one request. Please don't run in from the bullpen.
Oh, no, that's the funny part.
That is so ridiculous when the guys from the bullpen run in. I liken it to, okay, let's say your house is on fire, but you call the fire department from the next town over. Like these
Yeah.
guys are running in They're already like a minute late to the fight.
Hey, you never know if you're needed.
You're not needed. You've already got like a million guys on the field fighting. You don't need like 20 more to jump in.
What if the respective bullpens fought each other in the outfield?
That would be funny.
So there are two fight locations.
No, yeah, that would be like a goalie fight.
Yeah.
The thing that I
There
would
should be
say, though,
a
is that,
separate bullpen fight.
like,
Yes.
In all seriousness, the whole thing is stupid.
Are you talking
Like-
about the
like
threesome or
hockey-
the
well, that
baseball
too,
fights?
that too. But
Well, I mean, a little pushback against that, but
hockey got rid of bench clearing brawls a long time ago, and baseball is like a decade behind hockey. How is anybody a decade behind the NHL in anything?
Whoa.
Like
rude.
It's a garage league. The league is terrible. The
Although-
sport is amazing. The athletes are amazing. They're great guys. The league office is ridiculously bad.
after the Jesse Winker thing, though, the Mariners and was it the Reds or
Yeah.
Mariners Phillies?
It was the Angels.
That's what it was. It was a team with red in it. Yeah, there were like 10 game suspensions and 7 game
Dude,
suspensions.
Archie Bradley broke his arm trying to get over the railing.
Yes. He
And-
was climbing over the rail and he
and
fell
we-
on his arm and broke it.
We saw Jason LaRue's career end in a brawl when he got kicked in the head by Johnny Cueto.
Yeah.
How has Major League Baseball not decided that bench clearing incidents cannot happen? Like they have every other sport has a rule that if you get it, like in the NBA, if you leave the bench area,
Yep.
you're suspended.
Yep.
If in hockey, third man in's getting extra and you're going to get a suspension, and everybody's got to stay on the benches because back in the day they would empty and everybody'd be going at it. How has baseball not decided this is not okay? It's not that hard. Listen, if you leave your position or you leave the bullpen or you leave the bench, 5-game suspension automatic. Serve concurrently. So if you have to call up the whole AAA team, you call up the whole AAA team.
I was going to just say, what if it's safety and power in numbers where, well, the whole bench will clear? Are you really going to suspend the entire roster?
Yeah.
I could get down with it.
Maybe you can't do
It would make some people mad, but
Maybe you can't do it concurrently.
So what?
Maybe you can't do it all together. So maybe the solution is it's like 3 to 5 guys at a time. So you know what? Now you're going to be 2-3 weeks where you're always short, and it's going to kill you, and people will stop doing it.
it
Which
should
is
have
the
that effect.
point.
You're right.
You know, I mean, and you're going to do it. You're going to get suspended unpaid. So you want to give up 5 paychecks in a major league salary when you're making $15 million a year? You want to give up 5 paychecks just to go stand there and hug somebody or push somebody or yell? Because look, 4 umpires can break up 2 people fighting. Like in hockey, the referees, the officials can pull 2 people away from each other.
Right.
You can't do that with 50 people.
Right.
No.
And it's actually more like 65 or 70 when you count coaching staffs and all of that. How are we in 2022? And how has baseball not figured out that can end tomorrow?
Because people love fights, Kevin.
I mean,
They love to
again,
watch them.
I would be okay. I mean, I'm not advocating it, but I'm perfectly fine with a pitcher and a hitter. If they want to fight, let them fight. Just like in hockey. 2 guys want to fight? Great. Let them fight. Throw them out of the game. You're done for the day. All that. But the whole nonsense with like 65, 70 dudes running around.
I
it's
totally agree with you.
Have you ever been in a bench clearing brawl?
Yes.
I have as
It
well.
sucks.
Were you throwing punches?
No, because everybody was on top of me.
Were you the nucleus?
It was a summer ball game.
Hey,
in
that's how the
college.
ship fight started.
Yeah,
in the
it was
cruise.
It was a summer ball game in college, and so a hitter's in there. Right, I got this guy on the mound. He's a bit of a crazy person, and he throws a first pitch curveball. I call curveball, throws first pitch. The pitcher looks at the hitter and says, "Throw me a fastball, you blankety blank blank." And so I said, "Dude, that was the wrong guy to say that to." And the next pitch hit the guy in the head. And he starts to charge, so I try to stop him, and I dive on the feet, and then the next thing I know, there's people on top of me. And it sucks.
Could you breathe?
Yeah.
You know how when you're in the bottom of a pile,
Yeah.
there's always the kid that's like, I can't breathe.
Yeah, no, I wasn't like that, but I mean, I got kicked in the face accidentally, and
I asked.
Did you get a concussion?
no.
You ever had one?
Oh,
Obviously.
yes.
Oh, why did I ask that?
You can't tell.
Well, yes, now I can, Kevin. I just didn't think about it.
One of the greatest Cardinals of all time.
Albert
Number 5, Albert Pujols sits down with former Cardinal pitcher Kyle McClellan for a special 2-hour interview. From the early years to this season back home with the Redbirds, you'll hear it all. The Albert Pujols interview, presented by the Cardinals, Monday at 3 p.m. on KMOX.
So I have a new client to tell you guys about, Doctors Birdie and Malhotra from Ophthalmology Associates. You've heard about them for years. Charlie Brennan, Tom Ackerman, Trish Gazelle, so many personalities have gone to see these doctors. I recently went myself. I have a very slight prescription, but I have something called narrow angle glaucoma in my family, so I have to be really careful about that. I had the best exam I've ever had from the most courteous professional people I've ever dealt with. Put aside all the puffery, put aside all of my salesmanship. These are the best eye doctors in town. They're so professional, so competent. Their staff are so friendly. Everything about them, whether it's a LASIK procedure or it's simply eyeglasses or sunglasses, whatever it is, these are the guys. 314-966-5000. That's 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com for Doctors Birdie and Malhotra at Ophthalmology Associates.
McKnight Place Assisted Living and Memory Care. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years. Features luxury accommodations and exceptional service. At McKnight Place, residents enjoy spacious apartments, walking paths through lush gardens, fine dining, engaging activities, and more. As a trusted expert in senior living, they are there for you and your family. Questions? Concerns? Call McKnight Place at 314-993-3333 or visit McKnightPlace.com.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
For garage door repair, St. Louis calls the real Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones who've been here since 1926. Others try to copy the name, but they cannot match the level of service. The red ribbon means 94 years of trust and loyalty from St. Louis homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Call 314-781-5200.
Response to Diamonds Direct's amazing finance offer has been off the charts, so we're extending it through this Saturday. You can go into the holiday weekend with some new bling and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, colored gemstones. Pick any item, pay nothing down, and enjoy 5 years zero interest financing. It's the best and smartest way to buy. But you can't wait any longer. This special offer ends this Saturday and will not be extended again. Only at Diamonds Direct. Details and more at diamondsdirect.com. Unapproved credit.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold Toyota. If you're worried about gas prices, Toyota has the most models of hybrid electrics in the industry. From the best-selling Camry to the best-selling RAV4, we've got it all. So come see us. That's Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Nearly a century of informing, entertaining, and serving St. Louis. KMOX.
Join us coming up at 1:35 here on the show to give us a preview of this Cardinals series with the Phillies that starts tonight in Philadelphia. 4:10 for your pregame show tonight. 5:05 for the first pitch. Miles Michaelis for the Cardinals. Bailey Falter will pitch for the Phillies. Chris Ranji, Amy Markscourse, Kevin Wheeler with you here. I wanted to bring this up for a couple of days because I saw this story, and I don't necessarily care about the story itself, except for the but for the idea of what this could be. Mm-hmm. So the story was China's scientific community, I guess their government too, Their goal is to find Earth 2.0,
Okay.
to find another Earth that could sustain life like this. And this is a big thing, right? We're always looking for Earth-like planets in the Goldilocks zone that we could identify as planets that could support life as we know it. Because we know you need an atmosphere. We know, based on our knowledge, you need liquid water to have life, all of that stuff. And they're finding these planets, and they've found tons and tons of them, but they're obviously very far away. And you wouldn't be able to reach them. But it just made me think of like the idea of an Earth 2.0. Do you guys ever see the TV show The Expanse?
Yes.
So it's a sci-fi
It's
show.
really good. It's
really good.
on Prime.
Yeah,
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. And it started off, I think, on the Sci-Fi Channel and then moved.
Yep.
Whatever. It's a really interesting show about a future time when human beings have colonized the rest of our solar system. Mars is colonized. The asteroid belt is colonized. All of that. And then they find, I'm not going to get too plot detailed here, but they find other planets that are Earth-like that can support life. And they're basically starting new colonies. What would be a thing or two that if you're going Earth 2.0 that you would want to change based on what we are right now?
Well, first of all, I have to be emperor.
Oh my gosh.
I have to be emperor of this new planet. And then I'll go. That's it. I have one requirement.
Yeah.
I am the emperor.
I mean, just on this theory, would you say that there should be, quote unquote, governments?
So the one thing I was thinking is no politics, but you can't. You have.
Well, I mean, that's
like politics is unavoidable.
So I mean, that's just that's the thing though. If you want no governments effectively, you want the minimum government. You want the smallest government possible to keep people from from chaos. From again, it's like when you go back to any society, no matter how simple that society is. Like if I have an apple and Ron just got like whatever it is, your grain that you've got. And I want to like steal the grain. Like I could just hit you on the head and take the grain. And what we have is we have laws and we have governments to keep order there, right? Then you have the market to also pass the grain and apples and have a whole system. It's always going to sort itself out. You can't have society without having certain basic societal
There has to be
institutions.
some kind of
This
organization.
is what I loved about. Remember when all the riots were happening in Seattle and they had Chaz, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, and they had the anarchists?
Yes.
The very first thing they did was build a wall. They had borders around the autonomous zone. Then they had to have some type of security because even though they said this is anarchy, there's no government, there's no authority. They actually had members of Chaz be armed because there was crime going on in the area. And then they had to have leaders. Like here you have anarchists forming an autonomous zone. And
So
the
they're not
first
really
thing,
anarchists.
no, they were, but that's the thing.
You're not really if you would change
Nobody
to
takes
that.
them seriously.
No, but humans will always filter themselves off. I have a good friend who lived in different communes because he kind of felt that way as well. Like he didn't like government. He felt that power. And he goes, here's what I found out. No matter who you are or how equal you are, there will always be an elite. There will always be an elite group, a group that is a little bit more motivated, a group that decides we're going to start making some rules. And that's why he ultimately decided no longer to live in those communes. He's like, wow, it is impossible not to have an elite. It's there was the law of the conservation of energy, and you have the law of the conservation of religion, where some people have argued that humans will always have a higher purpose that they'll glom onto, no matter what that looks like. And I think there's the law of the conservation of the elite. No matter who you are, no matter how far you run from familiar society, the elite will always form because there will always be some person or two people
Somebody that's bigger, stronger, faster,
that start to take the lead.
Yeah, I'd like to change my answer. I think I would. I will settle for being king of this new planet.
You're gonna have
if
to
I can't be
defend your
emperor,
throne, brother.
Oh well, I'll have my people.
Here's what I would change if I could create Earth 2.0. I would want it exactly, like it is, whatever, except the home printers work. Like you have home printers where you can always print, and it's not always out of ink. And
I need
not a
Wi-Fi.
disconnect.
We have to have working.
That whole product. That's on you. You just have to order more ink.
No, that's not how it. No, it's not. There's a. You want to talk about conspiracies? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but my home printer.
Everything before but is.
That's exactly right. My home printer is conspiratorial against me.
The one thing I was thinking about on this is what about no money, but you're only trading goods and services? Like, I want food, you have food, I will do work for you if you give me food. I'm not saying it's a good idea, by the way. I'm just saying that there was a thought because money's just made up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's even if you're going by the if you're it's like it's me doing my motivation. Like, listen,
what is money?
Imagine all the people.
Oh.
Imagine there's no money. Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm there. I've been there.
Yeah, it's not real tough to
No.
figure that one out. Come on, Ron, sing along.
Will you loan me $20? Give me $20.
Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel.
Bombshell testimony.
Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel.
Baseless claims.
Engel and the driver are prepared to testify Trump never lunged for the steering wheel.
Perspective from both sides.
I would take their word over any word of this junior staffer who is completely, I believe, lying to the January 6th committee.
Certainly changed my mind. I've been defending the president against the charges of incitement to riot.
When searching for sanity in a polarized world, you'll find what you need. On News Radio 1120, KMOX.
Attention men. Lately, you've been hearing a lot about wave therapy as a new and revolutionary cure for erectile dysfunction. But did you know the St. Louis Men's Clinic has provided wave therapy since 2017? Wave therapy is a non-invasive, pain-free treatment for ED, but it's not new, nor does it cure ED. In fact, if you've had prostate cancer, wave therapy is not a solution. So before spending too much for a treatment that may not work, call the experienced and knowledgeable staff at the St. Louis Men's Clinic. Their doctors will discuss the available treatment options and develop a customized plan just for you. Get the facts on wave therapy and the treatments for erectile dysfunction. Call the St. Louis Men's Clinic today and schedule a $25 wave therapy session and private consultation. Yeah, that's $25. Call the St. Louis Men's Clinic at 314-282-8700 or visit stlmensclinic.com. Locally owned and operated and a proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Nationally recognized, locally invested, Busey Bank is pleased to be named one of America's best banks for 2022 by Forbes. A prestigious and humbling honor, Busey is proud to deliver best-in-class service to our valued customers and vibrant communities. Whatever your financial needs, partner with an award-winning team for solutions to your business, wealth, and personal banking needs. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
At 1:30, it's partly cloudy and 93 degrees now downtown at the Arch. President Biden has announced the next recipients of the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
They include former Senate colleague John McCain.
John was a hero.
Olympic gymnast Simone Biles, who has called out officials for not protecting fellow sex assault victims.
Enough is enough.
And fellow gold medalist Megan Rapinoe, whose soccer teammates have pushed for pay equality.
We're forcing ourselves into that conversation.
You answer me when I ask you, who is your daddy?
Actor Denzel Washington will receive a medal, as will late labor leader Richard Trumka.
Fight, fight, fight.
Former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, a shooting survivor who's pushing former colleagues to crack down on guns. There's nurse Sarah Lindsay, the first American to get a COVID-19 vaccine in public.
I want to instill public confidence.
Among the others who'll be honored next week,
we are calling it iPhone.
Late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, 15 years after the iPhone's release. I'm Sagar Meghani.
Right now, emergency vehicles on 70 West before the airport on the right shoulder, and there's a vehicle fire I-170 north to Maryland Avenue. Some debris on 44 east past Lindbergh. It's got the left lane blocked. Forecast for today, hot and humid, a few spot storms with a high of 95. More humid overnight, the low 72, a few scattered storms, and tomorrow a few scattered showers and storms, especially the afternoon with a high of 88 degrees. We're up to 93 at the moment. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
The power of timeliness.
We show up when we say we will, on time and fully caffeinated.
The power of transformation.
Also known as making your house look so good, your neighbors will be jealous.
The power of certainty.
That's your local CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
It's the Cards and Phillies tonight. Ameren pregame show 410. First pitch 5:05 on KMOX and streaming on KMOX.com.
All right, 133 on the show here on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark scores. Kevin Wheeler with you here. Cardinals coming up later on this evening. 4:10 for the pregame show, 5:05 first pitch in Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia with the club is our good friend Mike Claiborne and our regular Friday visit with Claves. First of all, Claves, how's Philly, man? Have you found your way out to a cheesesteak place yet? Is that even on your radar when you're in Philly?
No, it's hot, man. It's really, really hot.
Too hot for a cheesesteak?
Never.
Yeah, it's too hot, man. No, I went out to dinner last night. You know, the cheesesteak thing is more of a tourist thing than it is anything else. So I've been here enough times where it's not the first thing I look for when I get here.
Claves is a steak guy.
Steak, seafood,
yeah.
Do a little shopping. Did a little shopping today. Like where we stay, there's a nice bunch of stores, and so I went in and reduced my financial net worth a little bit. So it's all good. You know when you're in trouble when they have to ship it back to you because you don't have room in your luggage.
Oh man,
that's Claves. That's pro level. When we go on vacation, my mom would always bring an empty extra suitcase for shopping, so that she would have the suitcase ready to go on the way home, or ship it back if it just didn't fit. You got to have that.
They're going to ship it back. So I'll have quite a few items waiting for me when I get. It'll be like Christmas in July.
How many Blazers and sport coats did you buy?
Well, that's funny you bring that up. I bought 2 sport jackets.
Yes.
I bought a couple of pair of pants and this really nice Western shirt. Now I have no idea where I'm wearing it to, but if somebody breaks out with a hoodang, I'm ready for it.
I'm in.
Hey, listen, we'll hold a show square dance. You can come out and show your moves.
I got everything. I got the boots, the belt, the jeans, and I got the bolo tie. I will be ready.
Hey, you need to get some.
I don't know where it's going to happen.
Well, you got to get some Spurs now.
I have some.
Oh, well, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who says you need
I'm ready,
an
man.
occasion?
You know what? I even have some chaps.
Oh, yeah.
That's how detailed I can be. Now, I wear jeans with the chaps. Remind everybody.
You know what? That was literally my next question.
I hope there's some accessories that go with the chaps.
Yeah, you know what? They're sewn into the jeans, okay?
Oh,
be clear on this.
That's not fun.
You people wander too much for me. I can see this is the problem.
All right. Well, and on that note, and since we only got you for a few minutes today, we can turn to the series. Obviously, you're catching Philly at a time where there's no Bryce Harper for a good amount of time. It's been a tough stretch, Claves, with a lot of games compressed this year because of the late start, and that's not going to get any easier before the All-Star break.
I agree with you, Kevin, and I think it's really a forerunner of what we're going to see next year with the way the schedule is set up, the balanced schedule where we'll play everyone. So, you're going to have a lot of makeup games and doubleheaders on off days. It's going to be a real grind, but, it's really a tip of the cap to the Cardinal office, the front office, and Gary LaRocque and all the people who develop people in the minors who all these guys that have come up during this time of need have been able to contribute. And there's a lot of organizations that just can't say that. Philadelphia is one of them. We're going to see a guy tonight, a left-hander, that they just called up. So we don't, Albert will probably be in the lineup, but there are a lot of teams that just don't have the talent in their farm system, and we're pretty fortunate to have it to keep us afloat. Now, they can maybe take us to the next level, but right now, just get us to the All-Star break. Let's take 3 days off and figure out how to tackle the rest of the season.
Yeah, it might be a little early right now, though I guess you could argue it's not. I mean, we're getting closer to the trade deadline. Do you think we have a pretty good idea what they are going to need a month from now?
Chris, that's a great question, and I will be able to divulge that on July 4th because that's the official Flag Day.
Oh, that's
this year.
right.
Oh, right.
That's right. I forgot you moved it back.
So you know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. Next week, I'll come on early with you right after on Monday or two. I know all you guys are off on Monday.
No, we'll be here.
You're
working.
kidding me.
Nope, we're working.
So we'll do it on Monday.
We love America. We come to work.
I love America too, but I'd like a day off.
Hey, Clay, so would we.
Yeah, isn't that the American way?
Yeah,
Get a day off when you can.
Right. Yeah, we only got a half day, so we're going to be all right. Get out of here after a couple hours on Monday.
Well, if you guys want to talk about what we need, I will have a very calculated assessment. I may even have some names of some players we might want to pay attention to.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll do that. We'll definitely reach out to you on that. Now, as for tonight, Claves, Miles Michaelis on the mound has had a hell of a season. Looks like the guy that he was in his first year with the Cardinals in 2018. And you mentioned the young lefty Bailey Falter. I'm not so much worried about that. But obviously, Miles is big for the Cardinals almost every time out now, Claves, because of that innings load that we need the rotation to bear a little bit more of.
You are absolutely right. He gives us a chance every night. He is just doing everything you could ask, and we just need 2 more guys like that in the rotation. And I think we could be fun to watch. Philadelphia, last night they scored a ton of runs against Atlanta. So, Kevin, you know, and Chris, you guys know how this works. When you blow out somebody the first night, you get 2 hit the next night. So I'm kind of hoping that they got it all out of their system last night, and we can come in here and get one tonight and take our chances with Liberatore tomorrow. And then, of course, we have the Sunday night game of the world on Sunday evening, which puts us in Atlanta about 3 o'clock in the morning. So, it is what it is. It beats flying commercial these days.
Yes, it definitely does.
Yeah, your flight's not going to get canceled.
No, it's not. If it does, we have bigger problems to address in the country.
Oh man, I was on I didn't get to fly the charter very often when I was doing baseball stuff. I did once, and I found out later that a plane we were on was taken away from a full flight of civilians. Like 200 people they were supposed to fly to Houston. And I guess there was something wrong with the plane we were going to use, and the airline took their plane, gave it to the White Sox, gave it to us, and then told those people, there was a mechanical issue. Oh, wait, your flight's delayed. Oh, wait, no, sorry, it's canceled altogether.
Then why don't they just play the weather card? They always use that one as well. And then now you can go on your phone and see what the weather really is like in that other shit.
Hey, but there is nothing like a charter flight, man. Those are the best. Oh.
I agree wholeheartedly.
The only way to fly. Claves, thanks for fitting us in today, man. I know it's been busy getting to the ballpark, and now you got to get ready for an early game. Have fun. We'll look forward to the broadcast tonight. We'll talk to you next week when it's time to get that July 4th assessment.
Looking forward to it. You guys take care.
Will do.
Bye-bye.
That's our guy, Mike Claiborne. And it is that time. I mean, you're right, Ron. We're close.
August 2nd.
I mean, we're it's a month, but I mean, that doesn't in this month, you don't have to wait until the end of July.
Right.
Although I think the Cardinals might wait because you're waiting on Steven Matz to see he's getting closer. I think he's getting ready for a rehab start here soon. I think they want to see what they have in him because right now, you got Waino, you got Michaelis, and you're counting on Dakota Hudson, whether he's going to do it or not. You're counting on him. And Palante's been really solid. I mean, he's going 5-6 innings every time out now, and he's keeping you in games. You're going to need one more to do that, and then maybe an upgrade to that later. But it really depends on Steven Matz, I think.
It's more likely they go and get relief help. Just an extra arm that maybe has not been taxed as much, which is difficult to find because if they're good and they're on a bad team, they're probably getting a lot of use as it is. So I'll be curious to see how they tackle it. But August 2nd is the trade deadline. We are, tomorrow will be 1 month out from that. And we could start to see movement in the next 2 weeks. It could happen over the next week and a half to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I like that the mechanical issue of the plane was that the White Sox took the plane.
That was the mechanical issue.
That was technically, it.
200 people going to Houston. Not anymore.
Wow.
Oh.
And I was listening to KMOX on the way.
They should at least get free tickets or something.
I'm sure they got compensated. Well, I shouldn't say that because you don't know. But I would imagine something happened. But listening to KMOX on the way in, and the Total Information was talking about the pilot shortage and just how bad it is, and they are expecting it to be now. Some airlines are saying it could be this bad for a couple of years, and there are others projecting 3 to 4 years from now, because a lot of pilots did take early retirement. And now you have to, we discussed this before, you got to train new pilots to fly. That takes time. So this could be kind of an issue for a couple of years.
Well, and if you are flying this summer, everyone is saying fly early in the morning, because early flights are far less likely to be canceled. I had a friend, he was leaving, his flight for Boston left at 9:30 p.m. last night. Well, it got delayed, so his flight to Boston left at midnight.
Oh.
Now, you're flying to Boston, you've got a couple hours in the air, you're losing an hour. That guy's going to be up all night last night. So I am flying it to Nashville late in the month, but I booked like a 6 a.m. flight.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Nashville, I'd just drive. I mean, we're going up to Michigan to visit family in August, and we were thinking about flying because you save half a day or whatever. I'm not even dealing with it. We're driving.
Well, like I said, this is for a wedding, so I'm flying there, going to the wedding, and flying back.
Yeah, that's right.
Like driving to Duluth. I mean, that was an 11 hour drive.
Yeah.
So
I just don't even want to deal with it. I don't want to have the chance of being ready to do something and then, oh yeah, by the way, your flight's canceled.
Yeah.
I am not getting there at 4:30 in the morning. You can forget that.
And I have to fly East Coast a couple of times here. I think September, I've got a flight, maybe 2. And then in October for weddings and such. And I'm like, I'm gonna get these
look on your face when you said weddings. You're like, weddings and such.
Well, there's a bachelor party for the same wedding. And I'm kind of annoyed that I got to go out there twice, but I have to go to the bachelor party because I'm hosting a thing. I don't know. He wants me to host something. So I got to host it.
What?
he's being super vague right now.
I know, like I'm hosting a thing.
He's doing a roast, and I have to host it. He's doing a roast with all of his people.
Roast?
That's actually fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We
It
should
is
do
cool.
a roast of Ranj. Wouldn't that be fun?
I've hosted a roast before.
Have you?
Ozzie Guillen,
Wow.
the old manager, had to host his roast.
How do you roast him?
Oh, it's very easy.
No. I mean, he's like pretty good at biting back.
Yeah, he took it all pretty well.
Yeah.
I had a couple of good jokes I can't tell you here because I work blue.
Oh, I'm shocked.
By the words of
It's
John
a roast.
Hancock, you could say it on the radio, but
But it's not worth it.
Yep. Good way to put it. All right, hang tight. We got one more segment to go here. It is the show on KMOX.
Sure, we all love to have a clean home, but what about the things that you can't see that are making your home dirty? I'm talking about germs, bacteria, mold, and more. This is Debbie Monterey, and you really need to call Beam of St. Louis if you want a truly healthy home. Beam of St. Louis can provide you with a whole house HEPA air filtration system that provides HEPA pure air 24/7 in every room in your home. It'll help reduce allergy symptoms without a prescription. For the healthiest home possible, make sure you have a Beam Central Vacuum System. It removes 100% of the collected germs, bacteria, mold, and dust. So, a Beam Central Vacuum System and a Beam Whole House HEPA air filtration system. The folks at Beam of St. Louis are great to work with, fantastic customer service, one-day installation. Give them a call at 314-567-1515 or online at beamstl.com. That's Beam of St. Louis. You'll be glad you called.
When choosing a skilled nursing memory care community, choose Park Provence. Considered by U.S. News and World Reports as a best memory care community for nearly 20 years, they've been the experts at treating dementia and Alzheimer's disease. If you're faced with making a difficult decision for your loved one, talk to the leaders at memory care at Park Provence. Learn more by calling 314-542-5200 or visit parkprovence.com. That's PARC Provence.com.
Have you ever gone to the grocery store hungry? Big mistake. Next thing you know, you're in the kitchen unloading all this stuff you didn't need, saying, "What did I do?" It's kind of like someone going into retirement without a plan. Steve All at the All Financial Group is here to help. He offers a complimentary retirement review. So instead of saying, "What did I do?" you can say, "Here's what I'm doing." Call 636-230-8824 and get more details online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory services offered through All Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuity products offered through Stephen All, Missouri license 8039738.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it.
Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
With Pedal the Cause, you can make a real difference in the fight against cancer. Ride your bike, grab a spot in the spin zone, volunteer, and join the celebration September 23rd through 25th. 100% of participant-raised funds support innovative cancer research at Siteman Cancer Center and Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Together, we can create a world without cancer. Get started now at pedalthecause.org. That's pedalthecause.org.
Did you know that one of the health benefits of swimming lessons is burning more calories than jogging while providing ease on your joints? SwimOnFoundation.org.
This Independence Day, the Boston Pops Fireworks Spectacular is back in Boston. Presented by Bloomberg and Eaton Vance. Join conductor Keith Lockhart with special appearances by Shaka Khan, Javier Colon, and Heather Headley. Watch and listen Monday, July 4th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Bloomberg Television, Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg.com, Bloomberg Quick Take, and the Bloomberg Business app.
Have you been waiting for the perfect time to get your Missouri medical marijuana card? Today is the day at 420id.com. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in. 420id.com is a BBB accredited business with over 16,000 happy Missouri patients. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420id.com. Open late every day until 9 p.m. Sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card now at 420id.com and use promo code RADIO for $30 off today.
Call Zero Res today and ask for the DGS special. This month, Zero Res of STL is offering a 3-room special starting at just $119 and $75 off air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResSTL.com or call 314-474-2020.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Who is this guy?
Kevin Wheeler.
With exaggerated mouth and tongue movements.
On the show.
All right, just a few more minutes left on the show for the week, and DGS coming up top of the hour. They'll take you to 410. 410 will be the start of the pregame show for the Cardinals and Phillies tonight. 5:05 first pitch. Did see this a couple of minutes ago during the break. This actually was tweeted by John Denton, who covers the Cardinals for MLB.com, that Jordan Hicks is with the team in Philadelphia. So he was on a rehab assignment with Memphis. He pitched on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that was kind of the last test. They wanted to see him go back-to-back days. So there's a chance, I don't know about today, but it sounds like there's a chance that he could be activated for the weekend and be in the bullpen. So it'd be another live arm for you there. I don't think it was working great as a starter. Just hard for him, with command issues to be able to throw enough pitches to stay deep in games.
Right.
But, I mean, relievers often do have some command problems, and you can get through an inning here and there, right? Like if you're walking a batter an inning, not the end of the world when you're pitching one inning. But if you're doing that for 3 or 4 or 5 innings, obviously
you're not going to go very deep.
Yeah, it becomes a bit more of a problem. So you may have Hicks back this weekend.
Yeah, that'd be great for them too, because look, every bit of help they can get, and really he'll be considered kind of a fresh arm because he hasn't been throwing as much as everybody else. And just because he's in the bullpen does not necessarily prevent him from injury, but it's probably a safer place for him, especially at this moment. And who knows if he ever really gets that control exactly where he wants it to be in terms of being a starter.
Yeah.
But let's just say he doesn't. If he can be a bullpen piece like he has in the past, then that's extremely valuable for them. So it's good that they're getting him back.
All right. So, oh no,
what?
We forgot.
What?
Oh no!
We forgot our
thing. This is the only thing I wanted to do today.
All right, so we're not going to be able to do this the way that we wanted to because we forgot.
No.
But we can at least tell the story as we were talking about it yesterday
Well, wait,
because it's pretty hilarious.
If you can send us the dialogue from the story.
I don't know if I can send it. I just Googled it.
I need time to prepare.
Okay, so
Oh.
basically, here's the deal.
This is just
So-
the worst news
I
ever.
can't do it.
You had one job.
The G7 summit is happening in Germany. And as the European leaders were getting together,
Yep.
a couple of them, along with Justin Trudeau from Canada, were kind of joking around. So Boris Johnson started it and said that they should, quote, take their clothes off to show that we're tougher than Putin. Which is very-
Let's say we were going to reenact the whole scene because the people listening want to know what this G7 summit would be like.
Yeah. So then Justin Trudeau followed that, like, yeah, we can show them our pecs and do bare-chested horseback riding because obviously there are photos of Putin out there doing that. And then, of course, because it's 2022
Yep.
and world leaders cannot let this type of thing slide without a reply, Vladimir Putin replied. He was doing the news conference in Turkmenistan, and his reply was, I don't know whether they wanted to strip down to the waist or below the waist, but I think that would be a disgusting sight in any case. And then he went on to say that the
Here,
European
I got some
leaders,
music here. Read his quote.
Everything.
It's too loud.
What is
Go read the quote.
He's like, I don't know whether they wanted to strip down to the waist or below the waist, but I think that would be a disgusting sight in any case. He actually rhymed that.
That is a rhyme.
That's like Dr. Seuss.
Do you think he did that on purpose?
No, well, I mean, he said it probably in Russian, and that's the translation. I doubt it also rhymes in Russian. And then he's like going on to say, like, they need to spend less time drinking and do things like sport.
Well, why is everything a TV show now?
I don't know. But
Everything's a TV show.
Also, why is a world leader like Putin out there like shirtless all the time, showing dad bod?
He was fishing the other day, right?
Fishing shirtless. He's
Yeah.
there. He's riding a horse. I love the meme that shows him riding a bear when he's shirtless because it's hilarious.
He probably is.
Totally different.
He
Because
was a great big bear. I tamed it when I was a child.
Kevin's Russian
You know the
accent.
bear is the Russian bear. Big and strong. That's what you guys wanted, right?
Yeah, where would you
that's
be
exactly
going?
what I was thinking.
I don't even know if that's what, but Putin doesn't sound like that, does he? Does he have a big voice or does he have a little voice?
He's like,
He's a mumbler. Is he a mumbler?
But that's what it sounds like.
Oh, is he the Russian
Well,
bear?
Kevin, when you don't understand a language, everything
Oh,
sounds
that's a
like
good
mumbling.
point. I would like to hear him in English because then we could maybe do it better.
Yeah.
He rode the Russian bear.
I'm just processing. This was a great moment.
And then,
in
of
radio
course, you had like
history.
Boris Johnson, like, we should all get naked.
That was Australian.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That was
Yeah.
a little bit like that was a little Crocodile Dundee.
That was.
Trousers.
That's not a knife.
That's not a knife.
That's
This is
not-
a knife. And then, you got
Justin
Trudeau
Trudeau.
there. Hey.
It's
Okay.
You
Not
can do-
every Canadian says a.
It's a boat time.
It's a boot.
take
It's a
off
boat.
our
They do say a
trousers.
boot, though.
It's a boot time week.
Yeah.
I can't even do it. I can't do a Canadian accent. I suck at it.
Well, I
Oh.
can't do an accent, but I can only say certain words from when I played
A boot?
hockey. Well, it's not so much boot as boat.
Boat. A
It's
boat.
more of a boat because it's a heavy oil like
I don't know
coach,
why. I should be able to
coach
do
and
that one.
boards. Like you
Tell
shoot
me
the
about
puck
it.
up the boards.
Yeah.
No, not boot. It's boat.
I'm sorry.
The problem, here's the problem is when I break into like my attempt at a Canadian, I go straight to Terrence and Phillip from South Park, which is obviously an exaggeration of an actual accent.
I can do like North Dakota, or yeah. So well, it's not like either that or like way north.
Like
Wisconsin.
Fargo?
I don't know. So here's what had happened. It was the St. Louis Marathon, and the streets were shut down because of the marathon. But the Rams were also playing the Packers, and the Packers fans thought that the streets were shut down for the football games. So the marathon was delayed 5 to 10 minutes because they had to tell the Packers fans to pick up their barbecue pits that were along the course. But I was waiting for a friend.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I
That
was waiting
totally
for a
checks
friend,
out.
and this woman comes out of a hotel and she goes, "Oh, it's a great day for a marathon."
That's very Wisconsin also.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
it's a great day for a marathon.
Oh man.
That's actually really well done.
I
Oh, I like that.
Because
Good
that's
for
what
you.
she said.
Also, in this G7 thing, Boris Johnson said that Putin would not have invaded Ukraine if he were a woman. Like, he said that. And at the press conference, Putin was like, "This is not correct." He actually did say that.
The women are like, yeah, wait, what?
That is not correct.
I was a woman.
Hey, you guys enjoy your 4th of July holiday.
We'll see you
Actually,
on the
we'll
holiday.
be talking on the
Yeah.
4th
Oh, no,
of
we'll
July,
see you on the
so
4th.
Enjoy the weekend. We'll be back on the 4th. Dave Glover Show is coming up next on KMOX.
I know your anger. I know your dreams.
Summer is here, and that means grilling season is in full force at Cotton's Ace Hardware. At Cotton's Ace Hardware, you'll receive free assembly, free delivery, free haul away of your old grill, and free fuel for your new